Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? And so here we go on a Saturday here, and we've got Memphis, we've got San Antonio kickoff on the way, and let's see what type of a return we're going to get here. Let's see, at the 30, the 40. What a great return past midfield. So talk about getting the start off in San Antonio side of the field here already here. A great return for Memphis, but can they cash it in here? Both teams come into this one 1-0. Case Cookers, can he come out here and cook today? That's the question. We got JJ here in the chat. JJ says, hey, JB, what's up with you? What's good with you, JJ? How are you? How are you? All right, meanwhile, let JB go ahead and get the poll question up. All right, but here we go. 1st and 10. Quarterback up under center. Play fake. Bootlegging. Looking. He's going to run before he slides. Excellent job to slide because he was going to take a hit. That guy was coming, but he picked up about 4 or 5 yards in the process, avoided the big hit there. And now we're looking at 2nd and 6 coming up. And so, Mike, what's good with you? How are you? Mike says, good to see you, JB. It's good to be here, Mike. Glad to have you here. Tell me, Mike, how are you feeling about the whole Stephon Diggs trade? All right, 2nd and 6, shotgun formation, 3 receivers on the play. Quick pass, caught by the tight end. And the tight end's going to pick up a 1st down and some. Takes it to about the 36-yard line. So already here, they are moving the ball here in the 1st quarter, 1st drive, after starting off with excellent field position already in San Antonio's side of the field here. Can San Antonio defensively start to get some stops here? Let's see. Mike says, in time, let's talk about La'el Collins. And so, hey, that was a nice move there. That was a nice move there. All right, in the shotgun, on the move. Big guy in front of him, throws it up there. I think I would have thrown the same type of pass if a guy that size coming at me like that. I mean, Big Boy was in the space, incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up again here in the 1st quarter with 13 minutes and 31 seconds to go here in the 1st. See if I can get this scoreboard to start scoring. Mike says, beautiful pass. Let's see. Mike says, you thought of JB, what you're doing? And so I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, usually throughout the week, JB is hard at work. I mean, hard at work, but that's great. Oh, man, that pass was there. That pass was there. You get a hand on it. You got to catch the ball. Incompletion. Incompletion. And let's see. You say, is Terrell Basham in? And so that's a good question. Let me look and see if I can verify that. All right, but here we go. 3rd and 10 coming up for the offense here. Memphis again with the football. Currently at San Antonio's 36-yard line. They started off with excellent field position, but now they find us a 3rd and long. Could this be a free play? It is a free play. That's going to be 5 yards there for the penalty. Got him off sides. That's something you can't do. You just can't do. I'm surprised the referees let that much of an obvious offside continue to play, but I'm happy for it. Happy for it. And so Mike says the cook. Case Cookers. Yep, Case Cookers. Tremendous quarterback here. Now, I will say this. The offensive line has to give him more time than what I've seen last week. I feel like he could have cooked a little bit more, but you give him more time, he'll do more. But now we're looking at a 3rd and 5 situation here. Shotgun, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Tight end goes in motion. They need 5 yards to get the 1st. Snaps it, throws it, gets it to a slot receiver. He's going to get the 1st down. So a fresh new set of downs to work with. Well, let me see if I can get this scoreboard functioning here. Okay, scoreboard doesn't want to cooperate just yet. And so Mike says the Yak Club. All right, let's see. Right. All right, so 1st down out of the shotgun. Throws it over the middle. Gets another completion here. Now we're going to be looking at 2nd and about 3. So right now, Memphis offensively, you know, they're moving the ball. They call it 2nd and 4. But I do need to get the poll question up here. But 2nd and 4 again, first quarter with about 11 minutes to go here in the first. Again, still 0-0 as this is the first drive of the game. And right now, Memphis, they seem to be able to move the ball at will right now at the 19-yard line. 4 yards is needed for the first. Gives it to the back, in the back. Oh, he gets stuffed. Picks up a yard. That's it. 3rd down coming up. So 3rd down coming up. All right. Put up the poll question here. Third and 3 coming up. All right, snaps it. Oh, man, pressure already in front of him. He had no choice but to throw that one early, but a penalty here. Now, the defense is trying to say that that was not a catchable ball there, but, yeah, they came in with some real heat on that play. Let's see, Mike says, Graham offense fire, and so, yes. Defense not happy about that one. Not happy about that one. You get an opportunity. They came with some heat there, but man, that's a tough break. Wow. I believe the defense might have a case. They may have a case. I thought that ball was not catchable, how far off it was, but in that same case, just leave them be. Now, Case, he got hit on that one. Case got hit on that one. Mike says hashtags hook 'em, Brahmas. And so, yes. All right, now they're going to feed it to the back with a fresh new set of downs to work with, and he's going to pick up a yard on the carry. Not much so far from the ground game in this one, on this opening drive. And what a drive it's been. 2nd and 9. Mike says running back Darius Victor over 1,000 yards NFL. I like the size that Victor has. I do like that size. 2nd and 9. Throws it. Gets the completion to the back. Speaking of Victor, and he's going to be about a yard and a half shy of that first down marker. 3rd down coming up. So now another 3rd down situation here. 3rd and 3, they say. First quarter, 9 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Again, still 0-0, but we're going to see if Memphis can cash in on this opening drive here. Let's see, Mike says tight end Sage Surratt. Good old Sage. 3rd and 3. Throws it. Gets the completion there to his tight end. So it's going to be a fresh new set of downs to work with here. So now we're looking at that 1st and goal offense. Can they go ahead and get into the end zone here, or will San Antonio find a way to dig real deep and try to stop? You don't want a team to just go down there and have their will and just score at ease. That's what you don't want. Case Cookers, 5 of 7 for 31 yards so far in this one. Going to feed it to the back, and the back. Oh, man, he's a yard shy of that end zone. 2nd and goal coming up. That's perhaps his best run so far of the day. Let's see, Mike says, Memphis receivers are mid on paper. So far this drive, 11 plays, 47 yards so far in this one. All right, looks like our scoreboard has finally realized that the game is taking place here. Let me just make sure that this is showing for you guys. All right, so here we go. Defense, they want to make a stand here. This would be such a big opportunity because that time that pass there, incomplete, tight coverage there by Phillip and the defense. So now we're looking at 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal. I wonder if they don't get it on 3rd, what would they call on 4th? But let's see. Shotgun tight end goes in motion. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Snaps the ball. Looking. Case throws it. Gets the completion into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown on the opening drive there from Memphis. How about that? That's how you start off an opening drive. Great job to finish on that drive. Excellent job. All right, perfect. Now we've got the scoreboard up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let's see. And so, RC, what's good with you? All I can say is, how about Iowa? RC, talk to me. How are you doing? RC says, JB. Mike says, beautiful pass. I'm telling you, kickers can back up your bills. And so that is true. That is true. That is true. Moving around, looking. He's going to run. And he's going to get there. So he gets the 1-point attempt play to make it 7-0. Here in the first quarter, 7 minutes and 16 seconds to go. But we have not seen San Antonio offense just yet. So let's see what they have in store when we get back from the commercial. But Memphis able to push it in the end zone and get the point after on this drive. Mike says, let him cook. Let him cook. RC says, I mean, JB, yo, that's more like it. RC on aces in different places. What's good? RC says, JB, I changed my name again. And yes, the RC and aces, Hawkeyes and Caitlin. We've got old man here. Old man, what's good with you? What's good with you? How are you? How are you? Yes. Absolutely. But yeah, I see the changes here, RC. But man, that Iowa game, especially the second half of that Iowa's college hoops game, that was a tremendous, tremendous game. Absolutely tremendous. RC says, they say we cheated to get back to the championship game. And so name a team, RC, that has won a championship that people do not say have cheated. Everybody's always going to say that it's cheated and stuff like that. Look, we don't make the calls. We just go out there and we do our job. You know, if you do your job, then good things happen, you know, like you still got to go out there and win the championship. So no big deal. No big deal. It's not like we make the calls ourselves and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Let's see. Mike says, Daywood Davis is a rookie receiver. Cup of coffee with Dolphins. You say, good to see you, O. You say 6 p.m. Who final 4 plays? And so, yes. So now that we are you talking about the men's tournament, Mike? Yeah, so we're referring to the men's here. And oh man, I mean, seeing the teams that are left and stuff like that. I mean, whew, for JB to pick a team to root for, because you have North Carolina State and you've got Purdue. So they're going to play against each other, North Carolina State and Purdue, in which I would love to see North Carolina State get the upset. But if Purdue wins, I'm not going to be angry because I'm always talking about supporting the Big Ten. And then you've got Bama versus UConn, in which, yeah, rooting UConn in that one. And let's see, Mike says Purdue, North Carolina State. And so North Carolina State would be a great story. If all the teams remain in, I'd like to see North Carolina State win it, of course, coming in as the 11th seed, 26-14 on the year. But we'll see how that plays out. And let's see, RC says, JB, I mean, like the play was called an offensive screen on UConn player with 8 seconds left, and it was the right call, but the world saying you can't call right that in that moment. So yeah, that's just people talking. I've seen the play myself there and stuff like that, RC. You got to make the right call and stuff like that regardless, because if you don't make that call, then they're going to be like, oh, you're supposed to make that call. You do the right thing, whether it's 8 minutes in a game, 8 seconds in a game, you do the right thing. You make the right call. If it's the rule does not change unless it's specified to change and stuff like that, which is not. The rule does not change just because it's less than 10 seconds and stuff like that. If anything, the player should be more aware during that time. Kickoff on the way. Because heck, you think about it, 2 Super Bowls ago when the Eagles and the Chiefs played, if it wasn't for that penalty right there, things could have been different. They could have been different for that pass interference. But it is what it is. Let's see, RC says, JB, I was prepared for them to swallow the whistle, and if we lost the buzzer, we lost the buzzer. You said I was actually preparing for that, but then the Zebras blew the whistle in my too short voice. Yes, they did. They did. They did their job. They did their job. Mike says Twitter Bulls on fire. Hashtag hook 'em. All right, so here we go. Let's see what San Antonio has in store here. First quarter, 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Receiver goes in motion. They snap it. They feed it to the back in the back. He is going to pick up about a yard or two on a carry. Second down coming up. So what will Memphis do defensively here? 2nd and 9 coming up. Again, this is Garbers here, and let's see how Garbers looks today. Last week, 19 to 25 for 158 yards and 3 touchdowns here. Can he go out there and provide that same type of consistency out there, especially when pressure gets in his face? Shotgun here. Receiver goes in motion. Fakes it to the back. Throws it. Complete it to the receiver. He's at least 3 yards shy of that first down marker, but he did pick up about 6 yards on the play. Now we are looking at third down coming up with about 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go, 3rd and 4. Let's see. O says, JB, I got a tablet. Might be better than my phone when we go live for the NFL draft and got some good headphones and stuff. Hey, that's what's up. All Patriot fans need a tablet. We just got to remember not to throw it. That's the important part, Mike. Don't throw it. Regardless of who gets selected, don't throw it. All right, 3rd and 4. Here in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Feeds it to the back. Oh, he's going to lose a yard in the play. Excellent job there by that Memphis defense. You are not going to come up in here and run on these guys. 4th down coming up. Again, here in the first quarter, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. What a defensive stand there by Memphis, who's already up in this one, 7-0. Seth, what's good with you? What's good with you? How are you doing, Seth? How are you feeling today? Seth says, hello, how is it going? It is going good. Anytime we're at the weekend, JB is generally happy. Promise you that. Mike says Chase Garber was supposed to be in the NFL 2 years with the Raiders. I remember it. I remember that. Yes, Raiders ruined many careers during that time. They absolutely did. RC says, JB, you really can't say the Kobe and Shaq Lakers cheated because they were dominant as ever, during their little run. Probably the exception to the rule. They are the exception to the rule, but I don't expect that level of dominance at the collegiate level unless we're talking about maybe just UConn when they had their historic run with their women's team. Other than that, that's just really tough to do. So yeah, that's absolutely true though. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Mike says, dang, they controlling my man Anthony McFarland. And let's see, RC says, JB, South Carolina is 38-0. This task might be too daunting for us on the belief scale. I'm probably at a 2 for 10. I don't think we can win against South Carolina unless Caitlin drops 50 plus. You name it. What if she just goes out there and has a historic night just like that? I mean, just goes out there and just drops like 55, 8, and 15. Some crazy stat line like that, bro. That would be insane. That would be insane. Let's see. Mike says, I am Matt Landers fan. Steph says, ha ha ha. Mike says, Marquise Stevenson is top 5 in UFL. And against us, we're at the commercial here. Right now, you look at both teams here, and for San Antonio, again, Chase Garbers only had one for 5 yards here. They tried to run it 2 times with McFarland. Didn't get any yards there. And Kirkland was the receiver with the catch. He picked up 5 yards on the play. I mean, they didn't have the football too much in this game so far. They've been mostly on defense, which is going to be a long-term concern if you continue to let Memphis dominate the time of possession. Look at the time of possession right now. Memphis has had the ball 7 minutes and 44 seconds, while San Antonio has had the ball just 2 minutes and 39 seconds. And I know we're still first quarter, but if that continues to be the trend there, that could definitely lead to the defense tiring out later in this one. So they've got to find a way to put together some longer drives and get off the field. To get off the field. Let's see. RC says, to be honest, JB, these college women's basketball fans are some of the most emotional and messy fans I've ever met in my life. Oh, man, that's a bold statement there. It's going to be more messy now with South Carolina and Iowa, plus racism will be at play. And so, oh, man, that's going to definitely be intense now. That's going to be intense. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that, but definitely, just what this means, the attention that is bringing here. Obviously, whenever there's a lot of attention, it's going to be just like in the men's and stuff like that, where there's going to be some negative attention with that here, but there's a lot of positive attention as well. Mike says, Cody Lattimore, a good tight end, says his Swain song season. And let's see, RC says, if Caitlin Clark does that, JB, well, Don Staley is going to have a sideline stroke. And so realistically, I expect Caitlin to put upwards of 30 points. I think about 35. 35 points, about 12 assists, about 9 rebounds there. It's going to be up to the others. Can the others go out there and really just, support Caitlin? One person cannot carry against a team like South Carolina. Can they contribute enough to keep it close? The last thing I want is for this to turn into the San Antonio Spurs of old versus the early LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers back during his first run and stuff like that. We don't want that type of performance there. But knowing Caitlin Clark and company, they'll give it all they have. They'll give it all they have. All right, Mike says, anyone see edge rusher number 2, Terrell Basham? And so let me see if I see any stats for him so far in this one. Let's see. Mike says, Brahmas don't look hungry. RC says, I will not be on Facebook or Twitter during tomorrow's championship game or after it, win or lose. Not even if you guys win. Oh, wow. That's a whole nother type of intense. Let's see. Seth says, what is the most popular sport? In order to answer that, Seth, I guess we need to narrow it down. Like, is there a particular, locations? Are we talking worldwide here? Are we talking U.S., we're talking international, we're talking collegiate, we're talking professional? I honestly feel like it definitely varies. If we're talking worldwide, well, definitely soccer is going to take that one. If we're talking in the U.S., though, I still want to say baseball takes it. I feel like it just still takes it, in my opinion. But football's definitely up there. But that's a good question. That's a good question. If anybody else would like to chime in on that answer, absolutely let us know. Let's see, RC says, South Carolina has tons of players that can score at least 12 to 14 points easily. Said JB could be a final score of 88 to 67, and that's a time-wasting snoozer. And so it could be. It could be, but that's what we love about these moments. It gives these young ladies and men an opportunity to go out there and, defy the odds. Let's see, Mike says Alabama versus UConn. And so, yeah, that's going to be one. Mike says NFL by 1 million. All right, so here we go. Third down coming up here. Looks like JB missed a couple of plays here. They tried to do an end around on that play, but defense said, nah, we're not going to let you get going again. So this is a critical third down. The last thing you want right now is to let them get a first down. We're looking at the 3rd and 10 right now. About 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first. Again, Memphis up 7-0. Shotgun formation here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Gets the snap. I thought 71 might have moved a little early there. Oh, man, he's going deep. Oh, that's going to draw a penalty right there, isn't it? It does. It does. It drew the penalty there on the play, tried to go deep. And that's one thing I've been waiting on so far for Case Cookins is that I know he can go deep. I know he can. But so far, he's still building that chemistry, and it doesn't help where sometimes the offensive line just doesn't give you time. But that time, they threw it in the double coverage. Luckily, came away with the penalty there. But again, it's still early in the season. I expect by the time the season continues, give it another week or two, and they'll be connecting on those type of deep balls. Now they got a 1st and 10 after the penalty. And let's see, RC says, JB, if we win, I'll slap up some celebratory, I can't even speak today. Happy posts, you say vids and pics, but I won't be there to engage in endless arguments with bitter South Carolina fans. Last year, you was called an Uncle Tom boot. Oh man, that's terrible. I absolutely hate that. I absolutely hate that. It's like, look, everywhere you look in college sports and stuff like that, there's every type of race and stuff like that in every single team and stuff like that. So just because one team goes out there and they push out a majority type, that stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter and stuff like that. You find a team, you root for the team, whatever connection it is, whether it's because of the color, whether it's because of the player, it don't matter. It should not matter. It should not matter. But you know what? I'll tell you what, from my experience of being on YouTube, the harshest post that I've seen so far was when I posted that one update. It was about one of the assistant coaches, and he was Asian, and he was experiencing like he was talking about his experience of experiencing racism and stuff like that. So I shared that post and stuff like that. And when I was doing news updates, and the comments in that one got out of control, so I had to cut that one off, and then I made a mental note that we were not going to be taking that path again on this channel and stuff like that, because that was not the direction that I wanted for it to take and stuff like that. I tried to bring awareness, and it flops. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes it just happens. Let's see. Seth says Iowa girls gonna make huge comeback last night, and so yes, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. That's what I want to see. I want to see our best players get all the way there. I want to see her have a Carmelo Anthony type of statement and finish on top there. It's a lot of pressure when you're that good. It's going to bring out a lot of haters, a lot of haters. So I'm wishing her the best of luck, and I hope that she actually does win it. All right, 3rd and 11, looking, throws it. Oh, he tried to dive for that interception there, but 4th down coming up. Excellent job there by the defense. And yeah, that deep ball just hasn't been there yet so far this season. Let's see, Joe says, hi, Josh. Let's go, Memphis. And so, what's good with you? Let's see, Mike says, my cousins are losing it. You say Stroud is like Allen and they add Diggs. Any Bryce can't throw deep. And so, oh man, I mean, that was a great move for the Houston Texans. I mean, that's how you make a statement there. I mean, you've already built the pieces. Then you go get someone like Diggs, and I'm not gonna lie, someone like Diggs, it's got to happen in the next 2 years. Because as we've seen, he's been in Minnesota. After a while, he gets unhappy. He's been in Buffalo. After a while, he gets unhappy. So once you start to get to that point, you start to get into that category like Terrell Owens, AB, all of that stuff, where you just like you're probably not going to be happy more times than not. So you're going to get probably 2 to 3 years to get to Houston, Texas with him, which is really all you can ask for him, anyways. Because at that point, you're going to start to see some decline after that. So you got a 2 to 3 year window with him. So I'm excited for Houston. This is great news here for them. I really am. I really am. Because you look at the 2 receivers that they already have and stuff like that. I was already expecting big things from them with that. That's just huge. That's just huge. Mike says you have Nico, Dell, Diggs. Exactly. And this allows you to continue, throughout the draft, to continue to work on areas that you feel that you can improve upon and stuff like that. Because we remember when they lost to Baltimore and stuff like that, ensure that this offensive line is top notch and stuff like that, and continue to build out. They got Joe Mixon at running back as well. And so that's good. I definitely would look to somewhere later in that draft to get a good running back to complement him as well. But man, I mean, you've already got, I forgot they've already got the kid from Florida a couple years ago as well. So, but that's all great all around there for Houston. Absolutely great. Continue to work on getting depth in that secondary as well. Oh, wait a minute here. Was that a fumble and a fumble recovery here? I see a flag out there. So, oh man. Let's see. Mike says Diggs precipitously dropped. And let's see, Mike says Stroud have all the tools. Any weaknesses at all, JB? I can't find one. And so, in order to discover a weakness, because like I loved CJ Stroud. I really did when he was at Ohio State. He gave me a certain level that no other quarterback prior to him at Ohio State had given and stuff like that. When it comes to throwing the football, great, extremely smart kid, and he's poised. You know, he's someone that he's a class guy on and off the field and stuff like that. And I didn't know he could really scramble until we played Michigan for the last time, and the offensive line broke down, and then he ended up having to scramble some. So I didn't know how much he could scramble and so that's a very underrated, aspect of his game. But honestly, sky's the limit with that kid. I mean, he's got all the tools that you could want, all the tools you can want. I guess it's just going to come down to showing everybody that it's going to showcase in the biggest games. That's where they need to see it in the biggest of games in which, hey, he showed in college against UGA, and UGA was like stouted with defensive players that were going to be in the NFL. He showed us then and stuff like that. But everybody held the fact that Michigan beat Ohio State and stuff like that. So they held that against C.J. Stroud as if it was his fault. But it's just going to come down to in the playoffs, having a couple big games in the playoffs. Once that happens, hey, they're going to be talking about him the same way they talked about Joe Burrow when he had that run to the Super Bowl. Let's see. Seth says my JV high school softball team won today, 9-4. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations to your JV's high school softball team, 9-4. That means hey, they were getting after it. They were getting after it. Let's see. Mike says I'm glad the Bills got Diggs taken care of, and they got a second back. You said the Texans get 1 year rental for dirt cheap as Bills paying. Let's see. Mike says I will watch Iowa. So if Mike watches, you know that it's a primetime matchup. That's for sure. Meanwhile, since we're at the commercial here, 6 votes in. Okay, we've got 3 for each team. Keep the votes coming in and let me know where you stand. San Antonio or Memphis. RC on Aces says, JB, I literally don't even watch NBA basketball when my Hawkeyes and Bruins are involved in March Madness until they're eliminated or win it all. No NBA for me until after that. That's a bold statement, but I feel you there. I feel you there. But yeah, this is a good time here. This is a good time here. Obviously, this is where it's all about. To have a team that's still playing right now, this late into the tournament is always fantastic. It has been a long, long, long time since JB's got to experience that with Ohio State when it comes to basketball. So definitely do enjoy that. Let's see. Mike says, I like how Stroud did not seem shook at all in the playoffs. Nerves are key. That's right. Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, or Stroud. Who is 3? Who is 5? JB and Shaq, quarterback for the AFC. So if we're talking those quarterbacks you mentioned there, obviously it starts with Mahomes. He's definitely number 1 up there. No doubt about that. Number 2, I've got to go with honestly my number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and go with I'm paused between am I gonna go ahead and say Burrow or am I gonna go ahead and say Allen? Because I've seen ups for both. I've seen Burrow gets off to a slow start to the season and it irks me. That's why I refuse to draft him in fantasy because when I draft him early, well, I haven't done it, but I've watched, and I know it's just fantasy football, but it takes him a couple weeks to get going and get streaky. But once he gets going, then that's great, assuming an injury doesn't kick in. But he left a little to be desired last season, I feel like. So for that reason there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put Allen above him, although losing Diggs will certainly hurt. But based upon what we've seen so far, I'm going to put Allen 2. I'm going to put Burrow 3. And then after that, I'm going to put Stroud for now. And then at 5, I still believe in Justin Herbert at 5, even though I know he's going to have a terrible season considering the receivers that they have around him. So I think that's my top 5 there. I am sad that Julius Randle is not going to be coming back this season. I was hoping he was going to come back to help the Knicks, but I am saddened by that. And it's not every day I'm saddened about something that happens back to New York, but I am saddened about that. All right, 2nd and 1. Feeds it to the back, and they're going to get the first down here. All right, they're going to get the first down, fresh set of downs to work with. Again, 2nd quarter now. Memphis still up 7-0. Let's see. Mike says if you have Stroud over Burrow, Allen 4, I would sign. And so I say I just give, since Stroud showed one season, that's the only reason why Stroud is where he's at right now for me is that it was one season. I'm gonna go ahead, see how that sophomore year look. Hopefully there's no sophomore slump and stuff like that. That's the only concern there. Is there gonna be a sophomore slump or not? So that's what I need to see. But hopefully there's no sophomore slump. He goes out there and continues to ball out. Let's see. RC says, JB, I have to go crazy and get excited because this the last year Caitlin will be playing for Iowa. Yes, that is true. You say after this year, we're going to have bumper cars, speed golf, and a tic-tac-toe in the arena next year. Meanwhile, Case throws it, has a man, catches it, takes it all the way to the 5. What an excellent throw. First and goal. And that was Davis. But Davis, is he holding his knee right now? I think he's holding his knee. He is holding his knee. This is not what you want to see right now. Just made a big time play, but it cost him right there. He looks like he's in a good amount of pain there on the floor. And let's see. Mike says, dang, Davis. You said you can't get on board with Herbert. You said, oh, I forgot Lamar number 2. You know what? I forgot about Lamar. Forgive me. I forgot about Lamar. That knocks Herbert off. As well. So, yeah, that's going to put Lamar all the way up there at 2, actually. At 2. So, yeah, forgive me. I was not thinking. JB's brain was not braining. It's not even noon yet for me. So, yeah, get that one off the record for JB and put Lamar right there behind Patrick Mahomes and above Josh Allen. So, yeah. Okay, my bad, y'all. JB wasn't thinking. Let's see. Mike says, what Ice Cube league? And so, yeah, the big three, in which I haven't watched, but maybe just one game of the big 3 since it's been up, to be honest. But if Caitlin Clark's going to play that one, then I'll check it out. I would check it out. But yeah, the big 3. How long has the big 3 been around by so far? I believe players like Jason Williams, I believe he's been a part of that as well, at least at one point. RC says, JB, do you think Caleb Williams is truly going to be better than Justin Fields? Ooh, that's a question. That's a question. I'm going to put it like this. If Caleb Williams goes to the Chicago Bears, his career with the Bears will be better than Justin Fields' career with the Bears was and stuff like that. However, long term, if Justin Fields gets an opportunity with the Steelers to at some point become a starter and stuff like that, so once he goes through the whole mature and stuff like that, get better and stuff like that, basically the whole Geno Smith experience and stuff like that, at some point in the future, Justin Fields could have a better, career. But I don't know. When it comes to Caleb Williams there, I see the good, but I see the bad. I have concerns, a lot of concerns with him, and those concerns really scare me to where it keeps me away from the good and stuff like that. But for Chicago, I'll focus on that. He will have a better career for Chicago than Justin Fields had. Because I have no idea what Justin Fields is going to be able to do, what opportunity he will or won't get in the future. So if he never gets another opportunity, then that's an easy one. But compare him those two just for Chicago, then yes, because they already have set him up for success. Getting Keenan Allen is huge. That is huge. Getting Keenan Allen again and combine him with what you've already got, that was huge. Let's see, Mike says, no, not better than Fields, I predict. You say Bears fail quarterbacks. RC says, I think the Yankees are 7-2, Red Sox are 6-2, and the Orioles are 5-2. All are in the AL East. And you say, I honestly have never seen the big 3, JB. And so, yeah, I checked it out years ago, like a few years ago. I think the first year that the league was actually a thing, I checked it out. All right, so they get the field goal here, 23-yard field goal, extend the lead 10-0 here in the second quarter with 11 minutes and 44 seconds to go. Let's see, Mike says, will Tannehill retire or back up? I've been waiting to see, a guy like Ryan Tannehill, just because you know that there are a couple teams right now that they really, the options that they have at quarterback is laughable right now. And so I feel like he can at least go there and take over for a year, while a rookie, is learning the system and stuff like that. But I feel like he'll be a backup somewhere. I don't think Tannehill will retire just yet. I think he'll be a backup somewhere. RC says, JB, I see what you did there. It feels get better at some point in the Juju Smith Schuster. Let's see. Mike says, don't think a Rodgers will last long. And so this is it. This is it. But I do like the fact that for again, just speaking for the Jets here, that they picked up Tyrod Taylor and stuff like that. If you want a backup quarterback, Tyrod Taylor is that guy, but you don't want him starting more than 5 games and stuff like that. So we'll see what Aaron Rodgers does here with the Jets here. What he has been able to do for the Jets, he's given them hope. That is the best thing that he's been able to do. You look at these older quarterbacks who have a history of being great. When they go to a team, you always notice guys will come and join and play for them. The front office decides, let's go all out. We want to make these guys look good and put everything around them and stuff like that, so that way they don't look bad and stuff like that. That's why you see some of these older quarterbacks have success later in their career, because heck, the team's going all out, which is going to sacrifice their future when they retire, but they're going all out to make sure that they bring in different pieces. You bring in that much talent, how bad can they really be? And that's going to help a guy like Tyrod Taylor if he gets an opportunity to go in there and play, and we'll really get to see what he can do, because Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback who can start and win some games if you have a lot of pieces around you, but normally he ends up with a bad team that doesn't have much to work with in most cases. And then the one time that he did get a decent team in terms of decent talent around him, he got hurt by the medical staff and stuff like that. So like that was just crazy. That was just crazy bad luck and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Mike says Patriots quarterback predictions again, JB. And so Drake May is going to be the New England Patriots quarterback. I want Jaden Daniels. That's who I really, really want. But the Commanders are going to do the smart thing. They're going to take Jaden Daniels, which is going to leave us with Drake May. That's who we're going to draft and stuff like that. We will not get Caleb Williams. We will not get JJ McCarthy and stuff like that. Those two are just, it's just smoke screens at this point. That's not going to happen. Realistically, Caleb Williams goes 1. Number 2 is going to be Jaden Daniels, and number 3 is going to be Drake May. That's how JB sees it. Let's see. RC says, JB, I don't watch much baseball, but I follow the standings. Well, that's a step further than I do. I guess I can at least start following the standings. I can at least do that. Let's see. Mike says, AFC East, Allen, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, and Pax Vacant. You might as well put Jacoby Brissett's name there. He's going to be starting week 1. While the rookie quarterback at least sits for a couple of weeks. RC says Aaron Rodgers is done. RC says, JB, keep it real with me. Does streaming games have actual good replay value? Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, streaming games and stuff like that, like once I'm done streaming and then I look and see, like just how many people actually checked out the stream, I do notice that the number is much higher when I check like a couple hours after. And I believe that it's probably just people that's probably clicking through to check, and because like they missed the game, so they want to check and see perhaps if maybe I actually showed the game and they realize I'm just talking about it, so then they won't go no further than maybe 5-10 minutes. But nobody's actually going through and just rewatching my entire play-by-play and stuff like that. I would be shocked if someone is watching it after while it's not live and just going through and watching the entire play-by-play. So the only replays that have real value is if I do like maybe gaming and stuff like that, and if I start shortening like just the extra stuff and make it to where it's just 20 minutes or something like that, then that will be the only thing that gets some type of replay value in terms of like streaming. But from live streaming, nope. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, your boy Joe Burrow needs to bounce this season. Cincinnati need him healthy for sure. And so, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's see. Mike says McCarthy went lots of games with no touchdown. That's what I'm saying, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Someone else sees it, because I'm like, I'm over here wondering, what did everybody see last year? Did JB see something else? And I keep all biases aside and stuff like that. You know, Tom Brady went to Michigan. I might be an Ohio State guy, but when it comes to evaluating talent and stuff like that, I don't care where he went to school at. But I've seen a lot of games where they took what was on his plate, they took it away. When they played Penn State, they tried to run the ball and avoid him throwing the ball. When they played Ohio State, they tried to run the ball last season. The year before his junior year, they let him do more his junior year than they did his senior year. So I'm just like, I don't see what everybody sees in JJ McCarthy and stuff like that. To me, in my humble opinion, JJ McCarthy should be a second round pick, a late second round pick to a team like the Broncos or something like that, where he comes in, no expectations to start, and he just works his way. Philip, what's good with you? What's good with you, Philip? How are you? Philip says, what up, man? How are you doing today? JJ in the house, what's good? JJ says, hey, JB, what's good with you? Talk to me. How are you feeling about the Vikings offseason and just how are you doing? Let's see. Mike says, hot take. I like Brissett game better than Tyrod. And so, you know what? Brissett showed me a couple times, especially during his time in Cleveland and stuff like that. He has showed me that he can go in there. And there's a couple times where he'll have a few games where he'll start to really go out there and like look like, okay, I see why Indianapolis turned the reins over to you and stuff like that when Andrew Luck just walked out during the practice and said, I'm done and stuff like that. I can see that. But then there are games where it's like, okay, we need more. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be a Pro Bowl season quarterback or nothing like that. But what he is, he's a solid quarterback. He is what many quarterbacks were from the early 2000s up until about maybe 2008, 2009 and stuff like that. He's those type of quarterbacks. He's going to go out there, and what you want is him to manage the game and stuff like that. You want to just go out there, manage the game, and be a leader and stuff like that. If there's a rookie quarterback, Jacoby Brissett strikes as the type of guy. He's going to go out there. He's going to, assist. He doesn't mind trying to run and stuff like that. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's got size and stuff like that. Doing whatever it will take to run to win. That's what he will do. He'll give the receivers a chance to go out there and make the play. So I will say that. And let's see, Mike says McCarthy's going to be maybe a backup. I don't know, frustrating. And so that's one of the biggest myths to me. How they can put J.J. McCarthy over a guy like Michael Penix Jr. is just astonishing to me, to be honest. And let's see, JJ says, what up and good. Let's see, RC says, JB should change your name to, hi, I'm JB. The Patriots make me happy. Oh, man, the torture, RC. No. All right, let's see. JJ keeps it a buck with us, and he says quarterback situation is not good. JJ, talk to me. If you're the GM right now, what are you going to do to fix the situation? Because I believe right now you guys have, what, Sam Darnold as the top option? That is not good at all. Not good at all. So tell me, what do you think, or what would you do right now in terms of which quarterback would you go after that you feel like you realistically have a chance to go after? Is it maybe draft a guy like Michael Penix Jr.? Maybe you're high on J.J. McCarthy. Who knows? What do you think would be the right move for Minnesota? Meanwhile, 2nd and 8. Quarterback throws it here. And San Antonio's going to be about a yard shy. Again, here in the second quarter with about 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go. All right, let's see. Philip says, doing good. I'm going to need Jay Adams to get him a touchdown today. And so that would be great. That would be great. I would love to see it as well, especially on a deep touchdown catch. That would be great. That would be great. Let's see. JJ says, Diggs went to the Texans. Too overpowered now. And so 3rd and 1. But do we feel like it's enough to beat a team like Kansas City? That's the question, because ultimately you can get all the talent you want, but if you can't beat Kansas City head to head, then it's not going to mean much. So do you guys feel like what Houston has done so far is enough to put them to where they're at least on the same tier as Kansas City right now? And the whole Rashee Rice situation is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Let's see, Mike says, Darnold a good 3-and-out compensation to McCarthy. He says, Darnold is terrible. RC says, because McCarthy won the big game. And so, RC, I get what you're saying, you know, and so congratulations to them winning the big game and stuff like that. But let's keep it a buck. Throughout history, if a guy wins a big game at the college level, does that necessarily mean that he's a better quarterback than the other guy that he beat when the other guy was more responsible for why they got there? Unless you're telling me you're going to bring the whole Michigan team with him and stuff like that, I felt like it was the running backs that won it for them. That and the offensive line. The offensive line did tremendous. They're blocking and stuff like that over there in Michigan. And not to mention the cornerbacks that they had being able to, you know, play with those Washington talented receivers that they have. That's why they won and stuff like that. But I mean, you look at the UGA teams that won the previous championships and stuff like that. Nobody's saying we want Stetson Bennett to come in and be our starting quarterback. But Stetson Bennett, he won a championship with UGA recently. Nobody's saying that nobody said he should have been an early pick and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, you know, why is it different for JJ McCarthy and stuff like that? If anything, Stetson Bennett made more plays for UGA. All right, 3rd and 12, picked up about 4 yards. Let's see, Mike says they found huge amounts of Reed and Lamborghini allegedly, and so I seen the reports. RC says, JB, you doing the NFL draft? Absolutely. Absolutely. JJ says, stop the Swifties. Maybe I should see if we can get Taylor Swift to join the stream here. That would definitely help JB Nation grow so much so that it would just put us in the minority at that point. So that would be insane. 4th and 8 coming up, so they're going to punt the ball. San Antonio unable to score so far in this one. They punt the ball. Memphis defense has just been shutting it all down. We get a return from the 12. He's at the 20, still on his feet, brought down at about the 27-yard line. All right, let's see. I want to make sure I don't skip over anybody's highlight here. Sorry, anybody's comment. Let's see. All right, so Mike says David will be okay. That's good news. That's good news. JJ says, yeah, Kansas City sucks. Let's see. Mike says Mark Thompson heal up. Philip said, did you get a chance to watch some of Jay's highlights from Arkansas State? And so I honestly did not do it yet. Did not do it yet, but I definitely need to and stuff like that. Matter of fact, I think at halftime, I'm going to go ahead and check it out here on my tablet real quick. So that's what I'll do here on my end. Let's see. RC says, I'm just glad Jerk Cousins is gone. Let's see. JJ says, stop the Swifties. All right. Let's see. Anything else that I skipped? All right. JJ says, I'll be back in an hour. Got to do stuff. All right. Bet. Appreciate the heads up there, JJ. Let's see. RC says, as a Swifty, even I think last season felt like an evil joke. Oh, man. Oh man, all I need is for Underdog to put an over/under number, and I'm set with that one. One thing I will point out though is that so far, if this is accurate, so far in this one, Chase Garbers is 5 of 6 for 14 yards. Like they really have not gotten anything offensively in this one. All right, let's see. Mike says Rome should be good. Oh yeah, Rome. He's going to be roaming a lot of secondaries for sure. He said Marvin Harrison was created okay, Madden, and so RC says JB Pennis is too old. He's like 27 years old. At least that's what I heard. I did not know his age. I will say I did not know his age and stuff like that. Last time I seen a 27 or 28-year-old get drafted in the first round, I want to say it was when the Cleveland Browns took Brandon Whedon and stuff like that. And so that was, you see how that worked out. See how that worked out. Let's see. Mike says, not sure about Drake Mays. And so I have my concerns a little bit and stuff like that. My ideal situation would be for the Patriots to take Jaden Daniels. However, the upside to his game, I feel like with Drake May, you're going to have the perfect situation around him and stuff like that and really get a coach that's going to come in and help him the same way that Josh Allen had help after his first year and stuff like that. They got the appropriate, quarterback coach for him, and it helped him out and stuff like that. So we're going to have to make sure that he has all the help that he needs if he does end up coming to New England. And my goodness, it's going to be, he's got to sit that first year. Got to sit that first year. Let's see, Mike says Jaden Daniels needs to bulk up. Not sure if good. And so give him time. He'll bulk up. Give him some time. Remember how Lamar looked when he first came to the league? And then when he gained all that, like extra weight to he put on some size and stuff like that. So give him some time. Let's say you say disappointed by crowd size. Let's see. Philip says my Packers are coming. You're young, hungry, crazy, talented, and so I'll tell you what, Philip. The addition of Josh Jacobs that caught me by surprise. That caught me by surprise, but that was a great move. When you look at where they were last year, and you guys got hot at the right time, but you added Josh Jacobs and stuff like that. You get Christian Watson to be healthy for a full season and stuff like that. I mean, that's going to help tremendously, tremendously, because everybody knows at this point it's going to come down to the Lions and the Packers next season. Because right now Minnesota's playing around with the quarterback position, so they're just going to be on the sideline. Maybe a year in last place might help them realize how important it is to have an established quarterback. I don't know. But yeah, Packers and Lions, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. And I hope again for Thanksgiving that we get a Packers and Lions matchup this year when the NFL releases their schedule. Don't play around and give me no Bears and Vikings this year. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, see, Mike says, I'm really interested in why people like Taylor so much as opposed to anyone else. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I've got no beef with her and stuff like that. I think she's obviously, amazing at what she does. And her fan base just loves her. Her fan base is just, they just really love her. I guess they're just more addicted than others. I don't have that answer. I don't have that answer. JB's not the kind of person that has like this celebrity type of thing where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna font over celebrities and stuff like that. I just look at celebrities like, oh, they're just like us. They just have rich people problems though. So yeah. Let's see. Mike says, anyone seen receiver Davis? And so I have not seen him since the injury. Let's see. Mike says Brock Burrows overhyped. Ooh. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Mike. I feel like Brock Burrows is going to have a good career. I feel like. And so, I feel like it depends. Obviously, it depends on where, but I think a team like the Broncos would be a good fit for him, something like that. So, but the Broncos clearly need a quarterback too. Let's see. Mike says that Jaden is physically able to add bulk is make or break if you're the GM. Okay, you say disappointing edge class. You say chop is Mobin, and so this year is all about the receivers. It's all about the receivers for a team that has needed receivers for quite some time. I mean, heck, we've needed receivers ever since Josh Gordon was with the New England Patriots. Him and when AB was let go, we've needed receivers ever since then, and they refuse to address the receiver position. And so, yeah, JB desperately needs us to draft receivers in the middle of this draft. It's starting with the second round, since we need to take a quarterback, starting with the second round. So you say late is best. And so Mike says, I like Taylor as much as anyone else. Philip says, Live finished his first season as a starter with more single season touchdowns and passing yards than any Chicago Bears quarterback has ever had in a single season. Alone, he's 2-0 already versus the Bears. And so, yes, love. And so I was looking like live, and so yeah, love. And so, okay, gotcha. Yeah, those keyboards will do it to you. They will do it to you. Absolutely. Let's see. Mike says Steelers in trouble. And so the whole Russell Wilson experiment here, that's going to be interesting down there. But I do hope at some point Justin Fields gets an opportunity. But I agree that he does need to sit for a little bit. It helped Geno Smith out. And it's just something about when you have to start, because like Justin Fields, you watch the college tape, he was not a scramble first type of quarterback. But when you have no offensive line, you lose faith and stuff like that, and your offensive line's ability to, give you time and stuff like that. And then you're always switching coordinators and stuff like that. So then it does some stuff to you. So I hope he gets a full year to just sit back, learn the system, or at least most of the season, like 10, 11 games, to just sit back and learn until he's truly ready to take over. Because I still believe in Justin Fields that he can go out there and be, great. Mike says, where is Justin Fields? Justin Fields is in Pittsburgh. He's in Pittsburgh. Yes, they have Russell Wilson, but they also traded for Justin Fields as well. Second and 11. Because Russell Wilson's just a one-year deal, extremely cheap. That's why they went ahead and made that addition. But, yeah, so Justin Fields, he got traded there. That's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to Pittsburgh. There were some other options. Who knows what those teams were? I'm sure we'll find out at some point in the future. But yeah, he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. All right, so we got 3rd and 9 here. Can San Antonio convert here in the second quarter with 4 minutes and 18 seconds to go? 6 seconds on the play clock. Shotgun formation here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. 2 seconds here. Snaps it, fakes to the back in the pocket. Moving around. Pressure around him. Brings him down for the sack. 4th down coming up. Memphis is holding San Antonio hostage offensively in this one. And that continues to be the case with under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 4th and long coming up. Let's see. Mike says Burrow or Lamar. Maybe Lamar, Watson, Wilson. And so Burrow or Lamar, if you're giving me those 2 choices there, Burrow or Lamar, I mean, I love Burrow because it's going to come out to the playoffs. Regular season, I want Lamar, but come playoff time, I want Burrow because when Burrow gets going, Burrow is calm. He's cool and calm. Doesn't matter how many times he gets hit. Now, he does get injured, but so does Lamar occasionally. So give me Joe Burrow, even though I think Lamar is, you know, right up there. Let's see. Let's see. You said, oh, Fields will start. Why was I thinking Pickett was traded there? Now, Kenny Pickett was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, he was not happy with the situation when they signed Russell Wilson, in which right now, Mike, the Steelers have made it clear they're going to start off with Russell Wilson as quarterback 1. It's not going to be a quarterback competition from the get-go because they need someone that can come in, learn the system fast. They got to teach 2 quarterbacks the system, so someone has to get more snaps than the other and stuff like that. So that's going to be Russell Wilson and stuff like that starting off. Now, if Russell goes out there and looks like he did at times last year and stuff like that, that's when I expect them to make the switch, especially if they start losing early and stuff like that. That's the biggest indicator. If they go out there and start losing. But from the very beginning, they're going to give Russell Wilson the opportunity to be quarterback 1. Listen, you say you like Fields over Watson until further notice. Ooh. You know what? I have no comment on Watson, honestly. I've got, like, I didn't see what he does this year, but last year was still disappointing, especially when you seen that Jflocka came in and he ran that offense very surgically at times and stuff like that. So, and again, Jflocka, I wonder what's going to happen with him. But I thought Cleveland should have did everything in their power to say, look, Joe, we'll give you a quarterback competition and just see where Watson is. If Watson doesn't look like he did, last year, then heck, Joe Flacco did great. He had some good moments. He had some good moments, which really made me realize just how bad Watson was playing last year. Because you look at the difference of how a guy like Njoku played with Joe Flacco as opposed to with Watson. Big difference. Big difference. Amari Cooper, big difference. Has anybody heard any update from about Nick Chubb lately and his injury recovery and stuff like that? I have not checked myself for a hot minute, but I was wondering about that. All right, let's see. Phillips says Hazel Roberts from Memphis just had to have his shoes spray painted white because they didn't match the uniform. They were white with red highlights. Hello, there's a video on X. No, we're not out here spray. We're not spray painting shoes. No. Mike says, who's the Raiders quarterback? Right now, Mike, the Raiders quarterback is Aiden O'Connell right now. They have no other option at this current time. To my knowledge, they have not acquired anyone. So they're going to be a team that's going to be looking. They're going to be looking. It would probably make sense if Ryan Tannehill went there. If I'm Ryan Tannehill, I'm calling the Raiders and saying, look, bring me, you need me, and stuff like that. But I don't think that's the route they really want to go. So I'm sure that they're going to be a team that at least kicks some tires and see, which of these quarterbacks fall to them. And if it's one that they like, take them. But I honestly don't know what the Raiders' plans are at quarterback, to be honest. RC says, JB, one thing I don't like is when I live stream, sometimes I go too fast when I talk. And so I had that problem, I think, early on when I first started streaming. Really the first couple months, I think it was an issue for me in terms of talking too fast and stuff like that. Because just trying to keep up with the plays, you got a little bit of the nerves kicking in and stuff like that. So once it's just something that over time and stuff like that, you'll just, it'll slow down over time. Because it's really just that excitement and stuff like that. But you'll be able to at some point channel it, honestly, over time. And it does help because you focus on what you're most passionate about when it comes to watching sports. So everything you do, it's not like where sometimes JB will be stuck streaming a game that we're watching Taysom Hill in there at quarterback, and the other team just signed Ian Brooks or something like that to play quarterback for them and stuff like that. Or you're watching Matt Ryan versus when he was down there in Indianapolis versus the Broncos, who had, I forget who the quarterback was at that time, but you're not streaming to a game that you can care less about and stuff like that. So every game that you stream, you're extremely passionate, you're extremely excited about it. So therefore, when that's the case, it does, tend to, you'll have more of that, just excitement that will speed you up a little bit. So that could be a case. That could be it as well. Let's see. Mike says Mahomes next universe over Herbert. You say Denver vacant. Raiders don't know. Yeah, Raiders don't know. Aiden should be, a good backup there, but they've got to address that quarterback situation. But they need a lot of things. They need a lot of things right now. But they say that they've communicated with Devontae Adams their plan. I think the Raiders are looking to try to trade up. That's a team that not too many people are talking about. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm looking to try to trade up. Black Medicine, what's good with you? What's good with you? Black says, wasn't San Antonio a champion in one of the leagues last season? And so that was not the case. Not the case. And let's see, RC says, JB, yes, sometimes you will have to deal with a game that's boring you to death. And so remember the UGA versus TCU blowout and stuff like that. Now, I found ways to entertain without focusing on the game, but sometimes you will run into that. Meanwhile, 3rd and 10, Case just going to scramble before he gets pushed out of bounds there. 4th down coming up. So right now, the defenses, they've stepped it up here lately. We got a minute and 10 seconds here before we get to halftime. And so, I mean, got away with kind of holding there, but he was able to run, pick up 4 yards. 4th down coming up. And the way that Memphis is playing defensively out there, San Antonio, but if San Antonio can find a way to just put together a minute offense and score, it would make it like a lot more interesting. Let's see. Mike says so many receivers, so many quarterbacks to be drafted. He says Bills need a power running back. Weak running back class. Yeah, this is definitely a year where if you're going to look at a running back, heck, I might even wait to see who goes undrafted and all like that when it comes to running backs, in all honesty. But at least it'll be like a day 3 consideration for me. Too many other positions, especially for the Patriots. We need to focus on receivers. Double dip, like the Packers did when they went and double dip and got Romeo Doubs and also Christian Watson. We need to double dip just like that throughout the draft. Let's see. Phillips says we need another touchdown before halftime. I really agree with that. We do. So I'm looking at Wade Phillips and I'm like, come on, let's get a touchdown, Wade Phillips. We need this for San Antonio. Mike says Renegades won XFL. Let's see. RC says, how will Harbaugh do with the Chargers this first season, JB and chat? Harbaugh's going to struggle. He's going to struggle, but that's okay. That's okay. He is going to struggle, but that's okay. I have the utmost faith in him because of what he did with the 49ers and stuff like that. Obviously, what he did down there in Michigan. I know he knows what he's doing and stuff like that. He should, as a person, like personality-wise, he tends to rub some people the wrong way, but he knows it starts with the offensive line. So he's going to focus this year with the Chargers on getting that offensive line intact. So we won't really see the Jim Harbaugh effect probably until next year when he realizes he needs some receivers as well. So, yeah. Let's see. Philip says, I mean Memphis, bro. And so All right, Phillips says he's another Memphis touchdown. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right, let's see. Mike says terrible half for Chase. RC says, JB, have you caught up everyone yet? Where's Braden and Lewis? And so Braden has been on and stuff, like we've communicated with him, but Lewis, I believe last year, Lewis kind of went MIA until his college football and NFL season. So I think we'll see Lewis closer to the NFL and college football season and stuff like that. Because I remember last year, everybody was like, "Where's Lewis?" and stuff like that during their time off and stuff like that. So, as you may notice, during this time of the year, we get a lot less views until we actually get back to like the NFL season. Now, maybe we'll see Lewis during the NFL draft. Maybe that's a possibility, I would think. But other than that, probably at least closer to the NFL season is what I think. All right, 2nd and 9. Threw that one away, and he had no choice. Pressure was right there. So now you get 3rd and 9. And the way Memphis has been playing, they have 2 timeouts right now. So if they get to stop here, they can get excellent field position with an opportunity to even add some more points, perhaps before you get to halftime with 49 seconds. So right now, if you're San Antonio, first and foremost, offensive line got to give you some time here. You cannot afford to give up the safety. Cannot afford to do it. Let's see what they call here. Shotgun. Feeds it to the back, and the back is going to pick up 4 yards on the play, which is going to make it 4th down here. Timeout has to be called, and it is called with 42 seconds here before halftime. So Memphis gets another shot. All right, let's see. Where am I at? Black says, other than Kirk Cousins, what transaction do you think was the biggest head scratcher so far in free agency? Unpopular opinion, I like the move for Kirk Cousins. I do. I do. And I'm sure his agent loves it too. But yeah, I like the move for that one. But in terms of the biggest head scratcher so far this offseason, I got to say like one of the more recent transactions of Buffalo trading away Stephon Diggs. What you're basically admitting is, hey, we don't think we're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. Now I get it. I get it. He was a problem and stuff like that, perhaps, or maybe he was rubbing people the wrong way in the organization, all that stuff. But still, in order to give yourself the best chance possible, you gave away a #1 receiver that you've got to now replace and stuff like that. And you're not on Kansas City's level at this point. So for Buffalo perspective, I call that a head scratcher. Let's see. Mike says Falcons will win division easy. Will win division easy. Let's see. Where am I at so far? All right, punts on the way. Let's see. Oh, excellent room here, but he calls a fair catch at midfield with 38 seconds on the clock. Let's see. RC says, JB, in lieu of Caitlin Clark's departure, we have a decent recruiting class coming in this fall, the 24 season, but our 25 recruiting class looks like it'll be really, really nice, JB. And so, well, that's all you can hope for the future. For the future. And Leslie Black says, I hope you are correct, UFL. And so, let's see. Mike says, do you have stats, JB? And so, oh yeah, I've got some stats here for sure. For sure. And so, yeah, I'll go ahead as soon as I catch up in the comments here and start going through some of the stats, especially here at halftime. You say someone has 2 sacks on Memphis. Someone has 2 sacks on Memphis. And so, yeah, I'll check that out here in a couple seconds once we reach halftime. Right now, looking at a 2nd and 10 for Memphis, who's already up 10-0. Man, San Antonio's just, it has not been their half, but defensively, they have improved, though, especially in the 2nd quarter. All right, Case looking. Case having to run again, but this time he's got some space, still running before he goes to the bounce at about the 29-yard line. What a nice run there by Case. And he says, hey, if I can't throw it, I'm definitely going to run it. Definitely going to run it. So far, Case Pickers, he is 12 of 21 for 97 yards and a touchdown so far in this one. No interceptions. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, Case Garbers, he is 6 of 8 for 12 yards passing. You heard me right, 12 yards passing. And as a team, San Antonio has 7 carries for 15 yards. Lovett is responsible for 10 of those yards off of 3 carries. And McFarland has 4 carries for 5 yards. Pickens throws, that's going to be Incomplete. All right, so we got a third down coming up here, 22 seconds. I'm sorry, second down coming up here, 22 seconds. All right, let's see. Mike says, in recent years, but Allen historically plays best when cornered. And let's see, let's see, Mike says, let him cook. RC says, JB, Iowa made me look like a damn fool versus Michigan in the conference championship. You should have known better. That's one you should have known better. No words for that one. You should have known better. Black says, are you streaming any college basketball? And so I am not going to be streaming any of the college hoops here. I chose to focus on the UFL since I was so late to the dance when it came to college hoops and stuff like that. I haven't done a basketball play-by-play in a minute, and I would be extremely rusty when it comes to anything basketball related. So I just opted to focus on the UFL as we continue to get through, the early phases of this season. But that's a good question there. Mike says, complete Brahmas implosion. Shake his head. You say, Phillips got robbed. And so, all right, so you look at that one, and yeah, that deep ball and every time he has tried to connect on a deep ball there, whether it's due to a pass interference or whatever, I'm still waiting on him to get that deep pass. But thanks to the penalty, we got a 1st and 10. Look at the difference in first downs. Memphis is 12. San Antonio has just one first down. 1st and 10. Throws it. Too high, too far, incomplete. 10 seconds left. So with 10 seconds and one timeout, I imagine give yourself one more play. If it's not there, you take the field goal. Let's see. RC says, JB, do you know the UFL players better than the NCAA hoop players? Honestly, that's a good question. That is a good question. I mean, I feel like I know some of them. I may not exactly know what teams they're all on now, but from covering it last year, both the XFL and USFL and stuff like that, I kind of know some of them and stuff like that, but are either seeing them in the NFL, but probably not knowing, what rosters they're currently on. And so, Strange 73, what's good with ya? What's good with ya? And you say USFL all day, baby. You say go boats, giddy up. Glad to have you here. How are you doing? And yes, here we go. 3rd and 4. Shotgun. Gets the snap. Looking. Cookers. Oh, that had to be a terrible throw there. Threw that one away there, but 2 seconds remain. There is a penalty, however. Oh, man, there is a penalty. Now, they do have a timeout here. So let's see what the penalty is going to be. It's probably going to be offensive holding, but let's see what they call. Let's see. Mike says Darius Phillips, accomplishment. Bengals cornerback number 2, 6 interceptions. Yak Club. Let's see. RC says Khan played incredibly tough defense on Clayton yesterday. I mean, JB, they were swarming, switching body to body, no room defense. I seen that she was not the leading scorer. I think she finished with 21 points yesterday. And so someone else had 23 points on Iowa. I did notice that yesterday because I did check the stats and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's all you can hope for. That's all you can hope for. You hold her to like 21 or 23. You say your shot scored 23 still. So, okay, so 23. So, yeah, like that was, hey, that's what you need to do. Defensively, that's what you need to do. But not every team is built to do that. Now, I say that, but South Carolina, they've got a lot of people. And let's see, Mike says, welcome, Strange, sub it up. And let's see, Phillips says that call on UConn player was correct. And so, yes, that's what we was talking about earlier, is that it was the right call. Now, it's never popular just because of the time that it was called. But, hey, whether it's 8 minutes in a game, 8 seconds, you go ahead and make it do what it do. You make it do what it do. All right, so here we go. An opportunity to add 3 more points, which is really what you wanted here. Is to have an opportunity to go ahead and add some more points here. This would be Matthew Coughlin here. Oh, man, this coach is fired up right now. I love the intensity. He is fired up right now on that sideline. All right, so here we go. Again, 2 seconds before we hit halftime. He makes this. This will put us at 13. A 35-yard field goal attempt. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good. And that's going to tack on 3 more points there for Memphis, who leads this one 13-0 at the half. And so this has been a game here where you bring your own defense to this one. Defenses have been getting after it. Offensive lines, they have been struggling in this one. Oh, look at this. We got players having to be separated here. Okay. I like the intensity. That's going to make for a good second half here. But San Antonio, offensively, they have been like a fish out of water. And when I say a fish out of water, we're talking about decades out of the water already. No life whatsoever. Chase Garbers, 6 of 8 for 12 yards in that first half passing. Meanwhile, on the ground, as a team, they have 7 carries for 15 yards for San Antonio. Love it. He's got 3 carries, 10 yards. Longest run of the game was 6 yards. And then you've got McFarland, 4 carries for 5 yards. So that's not what you need offensively at all. I mean, you look at with numbers like that, I mean, it's just insane. You look at penalties, though, and man, they are still showing. I was about to say, are they still out on the field? A lot of emotions in this one. And I can't blame them because the Brahmas have just, I mean, that's embarrassing, Nick. That is embarrassing. You look at the penalties so far, they have more yards in penalties with 5 penalties for 42 yards, San Antonio, than they do for total yards. So that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's embarrassing. And let's see, RC says, get them likes up for JB Stir, unless they're already up. And let's see, Philip says, the UConn player stepped to the screen instead of setting it up and waiting on the contact. Mike says, coach is livid. RC says, Philip, right, it was correct, but everyone said on social media the whistle should have been swallowed. And so that's just social media for you. We've reached a time where social media is purely used to just find a way to negate people's accomplishments. It doesn't matter the accomplishment. If there's a way to try to put it down, that's exactly what social media is going to be used for. So got to ignore that one. Let's see. RC says, JB, I actually watched the game with 5 South Carolina Gamecock fans, 1 LSU fan, and I was the only Iowa fan. And you held your own, you thought. And so, hey, that's all you can hope for. That's all you can hope for. Because at the end of the day, you're talking about one Big Ten fan versus SEC fans that all have high expectations and stuff like that. And they view Iowa as a one-woman show. So congrats for holding your own. Philip said that's because their LeBron fans don't understand basketball. Let's see, Strange said, I should have said Grox Boats in honor of all the breakers on the team. Who that? And so, yes. Oh, man, missed the breakers. Absolutely. RC says San Antonio, rah-rahs. Philip says, who did San Antonio beat last week? And so, yeah, San Antonio last week, they ended up beating, I got to double check real quick because I remember, yeah, San Antonio ended up beating the DC Defenders last week. It was 27-12 last week. That's what they beat, 27-12. So that tells me that the Defenders defensively, there's a lot of questions for the Defenders. But yeah, that's who it was. That's who it was. Let's see, Mike says, if you got stats, hook us up. Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and walk through this one now. All right, so you start off with looking at the time of possession here. And so Memphis, they've held the ball for 20 minutes and 12 seconds. Meanwhile, San Antonio has had the ball for 9 minutes and 48 seconds. So they've had the ball twice as long as San Antonio and stuff like that. And let's see, total plays ran. Memphis has ran 38 plays. Offensively, San Antonio has ran 17 plays. Total yards, Memphis, 163 to San Antonio's 14. I guess they're including sack yards as well. They're averaging less than 1 yard per play, San Antonio is. Averaging less than 1 yard per play. Showboats have been in the red zone at least 3 times, coming away with a touchdown once. Oh, man. And then you look at, let's look at the actual stats here. We'll start off with San Antonio. Chase Garbers, 6 of 8, 12 yards passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions, averaging about 1.5 yards to completion. That's, you can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You can't do that. And let's see, rushing wise, Lovett, he's got 3 carries for 10 yards. McFarland, he's got 4 carries for 5 yards. And then receiving wise, Kirkland, he's got 2 catches for 11 yards. He's been targeted 3 times. Longest catch is for 6 yards. Lattimore, he's got 1 target, 1 catch, 4 yards. Stevenson, he's got a catch for 2 yards. Lovett, he's got a catch for -5 yards. And then let's look defensively. Williams has a sack. Jay Williams, he's got a sack. He's got the only sack so far in this one. No interceptions in this one. Let's see, Tarborough's got a pass deflection, and Phillips has a pass deflection, and so does Thompson. Let's see. Garbers did fumble the ball 1 time as well. Oh, man, he's just not having a game. Who's the backup quarterback? Does anybody know who's the backup quarterback for San Antonio? It might be a good time to take a look at him. Meanwhile, we got Braden here. Braden, what's good with you? Braden says, hey, JB. Right now, we got 14 votes and Memphis leading the poll. Don't forget to cast your vote. And I will get caught up on the comments here in a second when I'm done going through the actual numbers here. All right, so let's see. For the Showboats, we've got Case Cookers. He is 13 of 23 passing for 103 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception. He's also got 5 carries for 44 yards on the ground, including that 22-yard run that he had earlier before half and stuff like that. That was a huge run to help them get into position for that field goal that they got before halftime. He is their leading rusher. Darius Victor, he's got 8 carries, 26 yards. He's averaging about 3.2 yards per carry. Longest run of the game is 8 yards. Let's see, Papel's got 1 carry for -5 yards. All right, receiving wise. So we've got Davis for the Showboats. He's got 5 receptions for 51 yards and a touchdown. Longest play, 23 yards. You've got Say Sherratt. He's got 4 receptions for 32 yards in this one. He's been targeted 5 times. Darius Victor, he's got 2 catches for 11 yards. Let's see. Adams in this one, he's got 3 targets but just 1 catch for 4 yards so far in this one. So got to find a way to get Adams a little bit more involved here moving forward. I mean, because I feel like if you can get him going, especially with some of those deeper passes and stuff like that, it'll really help them out to just take it to that next level. Let's see, defensively. Their leading tackler is Green. He's got 4 tackles, all solo. He's also got a tackle for a loss. Roberts has 2 sacks in this one. So, yeah, Roberts. Let me see if I can see his first name here. So, Maximilian Roberts, yeah, he's got 2 sacks in this one, a linebacker. So, that's excellent. You get 2 sacks in the game, that's excellent. So we're talking about the first half here, the first half. So, that's tremendous there. That's worth, taking note of. And so, yep, so that is our stats so far in this one. Case Cookers did fumble it 1 time. All right, let's see. Let me see where I left off with the comments here. All right, so Phillips says there's several Sun Belt players, and some of them are Kansas State players. Okay. RC says, JB, do you believe in Victor? Hey, I do. I do believe in Wembley. I do. I like him a lot, and he's only going to get better. Only going to get better. I like him a lot and stuff like that. He is going to be a staple for the San Antonio Spurs. He will be. Fortnite, what's good with you? How are you? Fortnite says hi. Phillips says the one thing good for San Antonio is Memphis played uninspired in the second half last week. Hopefully, coach addressed that this week. They did. They got away from what was really working. Towards the end, they just really wanted that clock to just run out and stuff like that. Because what happened was pressure really picked up last week against Memphis to where Memphis just completely got away from what was working in that first half. Because that first half, they were throwing some dots out there. Case was really cooking out there. But then after that, no. Second half, all he was feeling was pressure. They still couldn't run the ball. And then, as you mentioned, it was very uninspiring, especially that fourth quarter offensively. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Mike says Tommy Flacco. Braden says, who do we have winning in both the Final Fours tonight? And so, man, in terms of who do I want to win or who's actually going to win, because there are two different answers right there for JB. Who do I want to win and who's actually going to win? Because I am looking forward to it. I want North Carolina State to win. I do want to see them win. But will they win? I don't think so. But I do want them to win, so I'm rooting for them to win. That I am. And then UConn. I think UConn does win, but it'll be interesting. I think UConn wins. I feel confident. I think UConn's going to win that one. And I feel like North Carolina State is going to lose, even though I want them to win. But those are two teams I want to see win is UConn and North Carolina State. Now, again, we are at the commercial because we are here at halftime. So we've got an entire second half to go. I mean, it is Purdue. So Purdue is, they've been known to let people down, but I feel like this time Purdue does win it, I think. I think Purdue does win it this time. Let's see, Phillips says UConn and North Carolina State is what Phillips got. Bet Fortnite says good. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Strange says Jay is one of the best receivers in the league. And Phillips says Jay is good running running reverses and motions. And so, oh yeah, spectacular. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, just imagine if Purdue wins. When was the last time that we had a Big Ten team win a championship when it comes to college hoops? When was the last time a Big Ten team won? Do we have to go back to 1999 or 2000 season when Michigan State won? Do we have to go all the way back to that 2000 season for the last time that a Big Ten team has actually won a championship in college hoops? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Braden says he hopes that North Carolina State and UConn win, but you think Purdue wins and we get a Purdue and UConn championship. Now, if we get Purdue and UConn, I got UConn winning it. If we get UConn and North Carolina State, I got UConn winning it. I got UConn winning it, basically. Braden says, yes, we have to go back to that 1999 Michigan State. As a conference, it's a little embarrassing to keep having to go back to 1999 since the last time we won a chip, considering how many teams we always send to the tournament and stuff like that. So, I mean, Purdue, I ain't got no real beef with them other than the fact that it feels like their kids don't graduate in time because they're always there. That's just a joke, but I know they're really smart. But still, so if Purdue wins it, I will not be mad. I will not be mad. But if they go there and they embarrass us, I will be mad. I will be mad. Someone has to do it for the Big Ten. Anyone at this point. It's just been too long. Let's see. Philip says, I want North Carolina State to win for one reason. Okay, 2021, their baseball team was actually robbed of a baseball natty by the pandemic hitting their team right after they eliminated my Hogs. And so, oh man, yes. Oh man, that year was insane. A lot of asteroids across the building. It was just insane. Insane. All right, but we're getting ready for the third quarter to get started here. Now, I'll tell you what, though, as an underdog, if North Carolina State does win, basically whoever wins from North Carolina State and Purdue, that's what I'm rooting for in the next one. But if Connecticut wins, I think they're going to be the favorites. All right, getting ready for the kickoff here. All right, kickoff on the way. All right, gets it from the 11. 25. I'm about to say, we got the camera shaking. What does this matter? We got the camera out here shaking. All right, so they'll take over from their own 28-yard line. So let's see. What type of adjustments did they make here at halftime? And they better have made some adjustments because that is not what you want out there. Phillips said, anyone but Bama. Anyone but Bama. Braden says, yep, the Big Ten has had plenty of chances to win. Yep, and we continuously get embarrassed. You remember the year I think that Michigan got there when they had one heck of a run. They caught fire at the right time, but their plane like had that whole where the plane took off and then they had to land immediately and they had that scare. I think it was the same year. I forget what year that was. All right, quick pass, caught by the receiver. Look at him, and he's going to pick up about 8-9 yards on the play, but there's a penalty. Don't rob a team who can barely get anything going offensively. What are we doing, refs? What are we doing? But let's see what this penalty is going to be. Oh, man. So they're going to call holding there against number 13, a receiver. So that's going to negate that play. And that's not what you need if you're San Antonio. If you're San Antonio, that is not what you needed right there. You finally get yourself a decent play, a good way to try to get some momentum here in the second half, and already you got a penalty. So now you're looking at first and long here. All right, we got 15 votes right now. Memphis leading the poll. Keep the votes coming in and let me know where you stand. Again, we've got this entire second half, but we're looking at 1st and 20 right now. On our own 19-yard line, shotgun formation, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Tight end goes in motion. Throws it to him. Gets the completion. I'm sorry. Is he a tight end? He may not be. But what he is fast. Takes it all the way to the 39-yard line. So just like that, on that one play, already way more yards than they had the entire first half. That's how you get going. That's how you wake up a man that's been sleeping. They were hibernating in the first half. But they're up now. Let's see if they can add some more color to this game. Look at that. Another pass. Oh, I thought he had him. I thought he had him. Excellent job by the DB to break that one up because that looked like that was going to be a catch. I like the aggressiveness that we're starting off with here to start off the third quarter. Now you look at that. Oh, man, you put it a little bit more in front. And just maybe that would have been what could have been. All right, so we got 2nd and 10. Pump fakes. It's a screen. But unfortunately, the defense said, you've got us that first time. You're not going to get us again. Doesn't matter how you dress it up. A screen is a screen. Now we're looking at 3rd down here, 3rd and long. That has not been San Antonio's calling card this game. Let's see what they do here. Got to give Garbers some time. If you don't give him time, then Garbers is going to not give you the results that you're looking for if you're San Antonio. Meanwhile, if you're Memphis, 3rd and 11, opportunity to get after him and try to get this stand here. You see, Strange says, Louisiana boy here deep in enemy territory living in Alabama. Ooh, man. I was in Bama for like 5 months and I got out. I got out immediately and stuff like that because I was working for the University of Alabama, Birmingham. It's like when I was in grad school. So I was finishing up grad school and stuff like that. And so at that point, I only had a couple classes left and they were online. So I was like, okay, I can go ahead and sell season tickets for University of Alabama, Birmingham and stuff like that during that year. And so that was, I'm trying to remember what year was that. That was going back to like 2018. I think 2018. UAB had their best season and stuff like that to that date during that year. So it was a fun time. Punt's on the way. Fair catch at the 11. I told myself, I'll continue to go back between, Florida, Georgia, now Texas, but never again will I go through that whole Birmingham traffic on a regular basis. It's just not happening. Not happening for JB at all. Jesse Phillips says, Memphis defense is probably top 2 or 3 in the league. It starts with their front four. Nobody can run on Memphis and stuff like that. You're just not going to run on Memphis. And their secondary, has shown me that they're pretty good as well. At least, it's not a weakness. It's not a big weakness, it complements what they've already got up front, but it starts up front for them defensively. So I would have to agree with you there. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Now, of course, as the season goes on, it's all about it is all about, as the season continues to go on, just remaining healthy, honestly, when it comes to defensively. That's the only thing that can really ruin this defense. But other than that, nobody's going to be able to run against this defense. And so let's see. Strange says, you work for UAB? Bet, bet, bet. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yes, go Blazers. Absolutely. JB's got a Blazer shirt from our championship season back then. And so absolutely. That was a great time. That was a great time. Coach Bill, all of them, that was a great time in terms of that. But man, that traffic though, like that was different level for JB. Different level for JB. Let's see. Kenneth says, hey, my friend, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. And so, yes, I am doing well. Kenneth, how are you doing? How are you? And again, we're at the commercial right now. And let's see. You say, I'm doing good. And I met new friends on the YouTube. And so, hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, that's absolutely one of the best parts of, you know, just being able to come on YouTube is that you get to meet so many cool people that otherwise we would have never interacted and all like that. Odds are, I mean, I don't know how many lifetimes we would have had to have in order to actually all just, you know, link up by some way outside of YouTube. So definitely tremendous there, tremendous. So I'm happy to hear it. Happy to hear it. Is anybody excited about the Masters? Let's see. Philip says, I'm glad UAB got their football program back. Wasn't that UAB that lost their football program in years? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Because when I came back, when I was there, that was one of the things that we did talk about, you know, just why, you know, they ended up losing the, you know, football program. Because I remember watching the video when those football players found out in the locker room that the football program was being shut down and stuff like that, you know. And we're talking about it's hard to, you know, go somewhere else, another program and stuff like that. But you've already committed to this program here, and then they're just, you know, cut the program. That was definitely devastating. Devastating. I'll tell you what though, UAB fans love their football program, but they really have high expectations for their basketball program, and they want their basketball program to get back to the heights that they were used to back in the day. And so I remember that I was trying to sell basketball because for me, for selling season tickets, it was football, basketball, softball, baseball. I sold them all and stuff like that. So during that time, the conversations that I would have is that everybody at that point in time, they were not happy with the direction of the basketball program. Again, that was at that time. Things could have changed since then. But football, they love football. Actually, Strange says Trent Dilfer, the coach now. That's right. I remember when I read that Trent was going to be the head coach, I was like, Trent to UAB? I was like, okay, bet, bet, bet. And so, yes, they hand to the back and the back. He fell, so slipped on the play. Almost had the chance to get up and still run, but got him from behind. Again, third quarter, 11 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Second and 11 with Memphis up 13-0. Good old Trent Dilfer. All right, we got 17 votes in. Memphis leading the poll here at 59%. All right, so now they're going to line up and go with 4 receivers, 1 tight end, shotgun formation. Defense sends 4. Avoids the first guy. He's going to run. Look at him. And, oh, man, what an awkward slide that was. That was an awkward slide. And he looks like he hurt his knee. And I honestly don't know, was he trying to dive forward? Did he think about sliding? Like, did his leg get caught, perhaps, on the grass? But you look at that slide there. It's a good thing that he's up. But, man, that was – I don't think he meant to do that. Like, yeah, he meant to go down, but I think his leg got caught. He's trying to walk there. Again, I don't know why they would just let him just walk, like support the guy. But now the referees did throw a flag on that play, but that's one of the most awkward tumbles I've seen. Philip says no Tiger, no interest. All right, so we're going to see who this backup quarterback is. Is this Williams that came from Pittsburgh? Am I mistaken? Or am I wonder if that's the same Williams. Philip says stupid turf. And so that's the first thing I thought about. The first thing I thought about. Now let's watch this replay. It's a little bit hard to see, honestly, but let's see. Yep, it got caught. It got caught. Oh man. You never want to see that. And players will tell you themselves if it comes to injuries that they don't necessarily like, it's those knee injuries. I remember last year I was devastated during the NFL season when Nick Chubb got hurt and stuff like that in that play. That one was very heart wrenching when he got hurt with his knee. Again, because he had that injury like similar before. So you absolutely hate to see injuries. Like you hate to see injuries, period. But knee injuries, they're just really hate to see those. And we've got another player that's down right now. So, oh man, back-to-back injuries here. Not sure what happened, but let's see. So he's trying to block. When you're trying to block and someone falls on your legs. SC Strange says, I don't have ESPN. You're doing the Stallions versus Panthers tomorrow. And so despite the fact that I'm a Stallion fan and stuff like that, I will not be covering the Stallions tomorrow just because of the timing and stuff like that. So yeah, I will not be covering the Stallions, unfortunately, tomorrow. But I will be covering the other game that's coming on tomorrow. So yeah, and for me, it just came down to the timing that the game came on and stuff like that. On a Sunday, that's a little early there for a Sunday for me to get to that one. All right, but again, we are right now currently at the commercial. And again, just to give a recap of the stats, so far, San Antonio Chase Garbers, he is 9 of 13 for 52 yards now, so improved since halftime. They're still at 15 yards on the ground, though, so no changes there for them. Meanwhile, for Memphis, again, Case Cook is injured there on that run. He's got 6 carries for 53 yards in this one, but he's 13 of 23 for 103 yards and a touchdown. So yeah, tomorrow I will be streaming the Roughnecks versus the Defenders. That's the game I will be streaming tomorrow. Roughnecks versus the Defenders. Unless he Strange says, you've been the best play-by-play guy I found on YouTube. I appreciate that, Strange. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I mean, your boy's been off for a little bit here, but definitely, I mean, this is what I enjoy, especially when it comes to football. Football is without a doubt JB's favorite sport and stuff like that, whether we're talking NFL, college football, UFL now, since we don't have the USFL and XFL. And I'm happy about the merger. I just wish that we would have been able to have all the teams, from both of the leagues merge, but unfortunately that's a bit much, I guess, to ask at this time, but still a couple more teams would have been nice. But I am happy about this league because last year I had to choose, do I continue to cover who came on first last year? I think the XFL was first. Do I continue the XFL towards the end, or do I start the USFL last year? I had to make a decision. I opted to start the USFL on the first week rather than to stick with the XFL. But this year I don't have to make that choice because of the merger, so I am happy about the UFL. And the fact that the league is having, the success that they're having. That makes me happy. Ooh, next Saturday when Memphis plays Birmingham, that's going to be a good one. So far, I know it's very early, but if you guys can give me your top 3 teams right now in order, your top 3 teams in the UFL, let me know your top 3 teams. I know it's early, so you can do if you project that this is going to change and stuff like that, that's cool as well. But your top 3 teams in the UFL. All right. Bootlegging on 2nd and 8. Throws it deep. Has a man. Ooh, is that a catch? No, it's incomplete. That was a tremendous throw, though. He just couldn't get both feet in. That sucks. That sucks. Because that was one heck of a throw. On the run at that. He threw it on the run, and that would have been a big play that could have really juiced this offense. Now let's see the replay here. 1 foot. Show me that first foot. Did that first foot at the same time, was it down? No, that. Okay, 1 foot, 2 foot. Are we sure? Are we sure that's not a catch? I feel like that's worth a replay. I look at the replay, but they don't listen to me. All right, 3rd and 8. Brought down. Brought down, just unable to run. And yeah, I mean, considering that knee injury, you don't want to see him taking off and run right now, especially now. This is where you want to be able to rely a little bit more on Darius Victor on the ground, add a little bit more, of that, and then maybe a little bit of play action and stuff like that after that. But you're going to get something going on the ground to complement what you've got. You're up 13-0. You know your defense is good. What you don't want is for Case to keep running, especially after he triggered that knee injury. You just don't want that. You just don't want that. And let's see. Philip says, who is the receiver? The intended receiver on that one was, I may say his name wrong, but that was Papele, like P-A-P-A-L-E, like Papel. Yeah, that was the receiver there, V. Papel. Meanwhile, on the return for San Antonio, he is doing the most that he can and gets them to the 21-yard line. But yeah, that was the intended receiver. And again, I would have liked the replay there because, I don't know. I thought that when he first caught the ball, at the same time, his foot before it left the ground was still slightly touching the turf. And then the second one was inbound. So I would have at least wanted to see a replay, to be honest. All right, Strange says Stallions. I love them Stallions. They're number one on my board there. And then the Showboats and maybe St. Louis. And so, okay, I'll admit I need to see more of St. Louis and stuff like that. I do, but Stallions, Memphis, especially I know what they will be when Case Cookers gets that chemistry going with his receivers, what they will be. So those two, 1 and 2, absolutely. But I got to think about my third one. For real. But if anybody else wants to chime in, let's see. Mike says Marquise Stevenson. Yeah, if anybody else wants to chime in there. Oh no, JB's tablet is on his last life. Let's see if I can get this tablet charged. Eight minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5. And before we can get anything going here, there's a penalty. That's going to back the offense up here. All right, got my tablet charging. Again, false start called against number 75 here. Again, the score, Memphis 13, San Antonio 0. You look at the difference in penalties. If I was a San Antonio fan, I would be livid because not only has the offense been dropped for the most part, but they've been penalized 9 times for 10 times for 92 yards. You almost have 100 yards in penalties. You don't have 100 yards combined in this game, but you almost got 100 yards in penalties. 10 penalties, and we're still in the middle of the third quarter right now. That shows me we're not disciplined. We're not blocking as well. We are just not playing our style of football. And that's very disappointing considering what we saw last week. And we know what they're capable of, but that just speaks a lot to what Memphis is defensively. Memphis is the truth defensively. And that defense is going to play a huge part for them this season. But it's going to come down to their second half offense is being a lot better as well. Another penalty. Another one. Wow. Delay of the game. It just continues to happen. Do they even want this at this part? Wow. So we're continuously seeing penalties here. And they're like 1 for 6 all game when it comes to third down. So why make third down even harder? But we've seen back-to-back penalties that didn't have to took place due to a lack of focus, a lack of discipline. I know it's early in the season, but you can't do that. 5 seconds on the play clock. Got to snap it. Does. Defense sends forward. Throws it to the back short. Gets the completion. Runs into contact. He's going to be short. So that defense saying not today. Not going to happen. 4th down coming up. And Brahmas right now, they seem like they should be at the Bahamas right now because they feel like offensively they're on a vacation right now. Again, third quarter, 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Punters out there. Punts on the way. Catches it from his own 30. Spins around. Excellent move. Still running. Still on his feet. Brought down to about the 46-yard line. Excellent job there, making the early guys misses there and turning that into a nice little return there. And again, we've got 18 votes. Keep the votes coming in. All right, so 5 minutes and 47 seconds to go here in the third quarter of play. All right, so now we've got the tight end lined up here as the fullback, along with the running back in the backfield, quarterback up on the center here. Play fake. Okay, they're taking JB's idea. Case is going to run again. We cannot have you continuously keep running right now. I am so concerned for his well-being when it comes to that knee, but he did pick up some yards on that run, but we got to find a way to run it with the running back. Case should not be leading this team in rushing. Not when you have a running back like Victor in the backfield. That should not be the case. All right, we got 19 votes in. I like how the poll right now is, okay, it's close. It's close. But right now, passing, he's still at 103 yards passing. Snaps it. Feeds it to the back, and the back. They take my advice here, run it with Victor, and he gets the first down. Picked up about 6 yards on the carry. Let Victor go to work. I know week 1 he didn't get the yards he would have liked, but it was just a really tough matchup all the way around. But now, this is where you go ahead, you lean on him. Defense is playing great. Right now, you want to make sure that they continue to get a breather and stuff like that. So continue to just do what you're doing. Look at the difference in time of possession. Memphis has had the ball over 25 minutes, while Brahmas has had the ball like really about 16 minutes almost. Up in that time, they're going to lose yards on the play. Let's see. Philip says Memphis cannot run block. And so, yeah, that part right there, that was sad. That was sad. And that's probably why Case is running so much, because the blocking just has not been what you wanted. Now, 73, you should be frustrated with yourself, 73. You have got to make that block. Now we're looking at 2nd and 16. And so JJ is back. Welcome back. Meanwhile, 2nd and 16. On the move. There's a penalty. Throws it incomplete, but there is a penalty. This will most likely, I think, be holding, offensive holding. JJ, I haven't forgotten. I still got to find a way to get you into my fantasy league and stuff like that. I still got to find a way to get you in there. So I'm going to find a way to get you in our fantasy league. Best believe that. Let's see. JJ says, what's up? Well, I'll tell you what's up so far. Memphis still up 13-0, third quarter, 3 minutes and 30 seconds approximately left to go here in the third quarter. But right now, look at that hold, bro. You were slow dragging with him. What are you doing? And then you got the nerve to act like you didn't do it? Come on, bro. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, 2nd and 26. Shotgun. All right, they're bringing pressure. This time the offensive line picks it up. Let's see what he does with a clean pocket. Throws it up there. It's caught. It's caught. Oh my goodness. Who caught that one? Was it Adams? Was that one Adams? It was. It was caught by Adams. He picked up 48 yards on the play. Let's go. Let's go. I feel like I've been waiting for this for almost 2 weeks to see this connection. There it is. That time, offensive line gave him plenty of time. So he was able to step up, throw it to his guy, and his guy made the play. Again, that's what he does. That's what he does. And now we got a first and goal situation. Case sidearms that one. Incomplete. Second and goal coming up. Oh, man. So Memphis, who's already up 13-0. Why does it feel like another score would really, really do it? Let's see. Phillips says, my dog, and let's see. Yes. Oh, man. That was tremendous there. That was tremendous. I needed to see a big play like that. That was big time. Now with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 8 seconds on the play clock. Second and goal. Shotgun. Gets the snap. Throws it over the middle. Oh, he was unable to get that one to Sage. Oh. I saw what he tried to do there. There was a small window, and that's about as good a pass as you're going to see. Now let's look there. Tight window, because you got to get it over the defenders now and hope that they don't jump that one, but still get it to your guy in that space. But he trusted his arm there just that time, unable to get that completion in the crowd there. But hey, that was a very gutsy pass. Very gutsy pass. Let's see, JJ says, JB, did you see the Iowa versus UConn? And so I saw the highlights of it and stuff like that. I didn't watch, because like when I checked the first time, it was like a little bit before halftime. So then I made a note to come back like towards the end of the, like towards the middle, I guess you can say the second, like of the fourth quarter and stuff like that. So I tuned in the second, then I left, came back like towards the end of the fourth and stuff like that. So I didn't see the entire game. So I had to watch the highlights to see what I missed. But it was a game. Philip says, Adams is 6'3" with stupid hops. Throw the corner. And so, yes, I was waiting on that. I needed that last week. That would have helped JB out a lot, actually, with my bet. But that was big time. Third and goal. Sending pressure. Has it time. Throws it. Gets the completion, but he will be short by about at least 2 yards, maybe 2.5. So now we got fourth and goal coming up here. So at fourth and goal, do you opt to kick the field goal or do you go for it here? And there's a player that's currently hurt right now for San Antonio secondary. He's going to make his way to the sideline. Let's see. JJ says, JB, last season I finally got my match and got second place in fantasy football, and so lost in the finals. And so it be that way sometimes, honestly. There be some times where you'll have a tremendous season throughout the regular season, feel unbeatable, and then lose a championship game because your guys just, stop being consistent. Meanwhile, 22-yard field goal attempt is good. That's going to increase the lead for Memphis 16-0. So we got a big time pass play for 48 yards that went to Adams. That was huge right there. Now Case Cook is 15-28 for 163 yards and a touchdown, but they had to settle for a field goal. 8 plays, 65 yards, 4 minutes and 47 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock. They have been dominant when it comes to time of possession. And then you look at the passing yards here, and so Memphis has almost 100 more passing yards than San Antonio does, and they've got like way more rushing yards than what San Antonio has as well. So it's been pretty one-sided. Let's see, JJ says, yep. Let's see, Philip says, Victor with the swing pass pit of the backfield could work too. And so, yes. All right, so we're getting ready for the kickoff here. So who knows? Maybe San Antonio is trying to save something special for us here in the fourth quarter, which we're about a minute away from. Maybe they want to make it historic. Who knows? All right, so we get the return from the 11. He's at the 25 already. 35. Pushed out of bounds to the 42-yard line, and that is where San Antonio will take over here in the third quarter with 51 seconds to go in the third. Phillips said, had to have a touchdown there. It's the UFL, and 2 touchdowns can be worth 20 points. And so, yeah, it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity, especially when they had that big play right there. You would think that it would have been an opportunity to capitalize there. But for San Antonio, if you're rooting for San Antonio is definitely happy about that. Let's see how they respond here, seeing that they're down 16-0. But yeah, the scoring, I'm still getting used to the scoring here in the UFL when it comes to, that. All right, so throws the ball, gets the completion. His receiver gets the yak on that one. And that's Lattimore with the big play. Picked up about, they call it 17 yards. He wants to run some tempo. That may not be a bad idea if you're San Antonio. Memphis offense complements their defense in the fact that Memphis offense controls the time of possession. That is what I've noticed. And it really helps keep your defense fresh, reduces the chance of, injuries and stuff like that. So they complement each other nicely. So I'm looking forward to next week when Memphis is going to be playing against the Stallions. I'm looking forward to that. But that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. So we got 1 quarter remaining with Memphis on top, 16-0. And just to recap, so far, Memphis, Case Cookers, he is 15 of 28 for 163 yards, touchdown, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. He's also got 7 carries for 58 yards. Longest run of the game, 22 yards. So he's been getting it done on the ground as well. And one of the reasons why they have 20 carries for 80 yards rushing so far in this one. For San Antonio, Case Garbers, he is 14 of 18. So getting the completions, he's got 97 yards passing so far. On the ground, they have a combined 7 carries for 15 yards. So Lovett, 3 carries, 10 yards, and McFarland, 4 carries for 5 yards. So they really have gotten away from the ground game here. And you would imagine here in the fourth quarter, they're going to have to continue to rely on the pass. And they're going to need some more big plays. Let's see, JJ says, this season in one of my leagues, JJ, Joe Burrow, Diggs, Mike Evans, Rashard Wright, David Montgomery, Dallas Goedert, Jake Elliott, and the Bucs defense for starters. And so, okay, bet. I have not said too much about fantasy, but I am looking forward to running back fantasy this year. Braden, if you're on, I remember, Braden, when your team was extremely stacked, and you were able to get your starting quarterback, I think, in either the last round or second to last round when he got Jared Goff last year in my league. Now, my league has more people than most, JJ, so to get a roster like what you have right there, it would take a lot of luck to have a roster like that. Especially we're talking all starters here. All right, but again, we are at the commercial here. All right, so we've got 20 votes here. Okay, it's good to see that we hit that 20. 55% leaning towards Memphis, 45% leaning towards San Antonio. All right, getting ready to start the fourth quarter here. One of the biggest stories have been just when it comes to the inconsistency on the offensive lines have been an issue. The inability to run the ball, run blocking and stuff like that. If you're San Antonio, you've got 10 penalties for 92 yards so far in this game. Think about that. 10 penalties for 92 yards when your offense is barely combining for 117 yards. And they just exceeded that. But 117 yards and 92 yards for penalties, that's not going to win any ball game. I don't care who you're playing. That's not going to win those type of ball games. You got one quarter to right the wrong. Up, he's going to run, and he's got some space. And he goes at a bounce at about almost that 10-yard line there. Okay, so if that's what you got to do, Garbers, then continue, please. Because they've got nothing on the ground game. So if they can even get something from the quarterback running, that would help. Let's see, JJ says, maybe, JB, maybe. All right, so here we go. First and goal. 6 seconds on the play clock. Shotgun formation. 3 receivers bottom of the screen. 1 receiver top of formation. Gets the snap. Looking. Throws it up there in the corner. Has a guy by himself for a touchdown. How about that? So the Brahmas say that they will not be denied points in this one. Wow. Wow. What a play. And that was Stevenson with the touchdown catch. Wow. Picked up 10 yards on the play. Again, Garbers to Stevenson there, the touchdown play. Now let's see, how do you get wide open by himself there? Like the DB just sort of just waved him off, it felt like, as if he thought somebody was going to guard him over the top. Not the case. Now we got a 2-point attempt. And this goes back to what our friend Philip said earlier. You know, you had an opportunity to get a touchdown, but you came away with 3 points. You got to close with touchdowns. Throws it to the back, and he gets it. So now we have a 16-8 game here in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, this game now has a different feel to it. That drive was critical. That drive was needed. San Antonio saving their best drive for their last drive. So let's see, what will Memphis do to counter that? Offense has got to wake up here for Memphis when they get the football back. But man, that's big. That time for San Antonio, avoided the penalties there. Continued to do whatever it took to move the ball, whether that was Garbers on the ground, whether that was Garbers throwing it, got it done. And now you look at those numbers there for Garbers, 15 of 19, 107 yards through the air, 1 touchdown. He's also got that 1 carry for 18 yards, and he's also his team's leading rusher in this game with those 18 yards. We are currently now at the commercial. So now's a great time, if you haven't got ready, to go ahead and cast your vote. Let us know who you got winning this one. JJ says, so now they want to do something they had all day, LOL. Philip says, thank God there's no onside kick. And so yes, absolutely. Plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Let's see what Memphis is going to do. Because again, Memphis, not able to just traditionally line up and hand the ball off and run the ball, although Case Cook's been doing his job in terms of providing that run game there, but hasn't been there in terms of the running back. So it's going to be up to Case. And the offensive line has got to give him time. Philip said, what did we say earlier about Memphis fourth quarter play last week? And so, yes, Philip. And at some point, they're going to have to find a way to fix that. They are, for these fourth quarter woes, I know early in the season. So the good news is early in the season, things can be corrected. But if this becomes a theme for this team where we come out hot in the first half and then we just lollygag throughout, it's not going to be enough to beat a team like Birmingham. It's not going to be enough to beat teams that, are serious, so your St. Louis of the world. It's not going to be able to beat the better teams that you want to beat to get where you want to get. They got to close. They got to learn how to close. So this is a great opportunity here to see if Memphis, can get it going here in this fourth quarter. Let's see. JJ says, JB, did you see the Warriors versus Lakers game like 4 weeks ago? And so 4 weeks goes a long time in JB's mind, but I did tune in and watch some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched some of it and stuff like that. I've been watching quite a few games for the Lakers and stuff like that. So overall, I've seen some good things. We just got to be healthy. We got to be fully healthy at the same time. But I've seen some good things over the last month and a half. But I've also seen some things I didn't like too. All right, so here we go. Kickoff on the way. All right, gets it from the zone 12. He's at the 25. Trying to get to the outside. Push out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. How do you guys feel about the NFL changing their kickoff rule? Speaking of kickoffs and stuff like that, how do you guys feel about the kick return changes that the NFL has agreed upon? Let's see. Philip says it's like playing an underdog in basketball and running the spread with the lead late, and the favorite just picks apart the lead, and the underdog crumbles. And so, yes. All right, here we go. Shotgun, 3 receivers, bottom of the screen here, tight end, top of the formation. Snaps the ball, feeds to the back at the middle. He's going nowhere no time soon. That has just been the case. They're just not run blocking. They're just not going to be able to get in the yards there on the ground. It seems like 2nd and 10 coming up. But the most important thing that if you're Memphis is you want to have a long drive here. You want to come away with some points, but you want to also take time off the clock here and go out there and finish with a banger. Take off 7, 8, 9 minutes if possible and finish in the end zone. That's what the doctor orders. But can they do it? All right, shotgun formation here. Gets the snap. Throws it quickly over the middle. Completed to his receiver. He's going to be a couple yards shy of that first down marker, but that's going to make it 3rd and manageable. That time it was Davis on the catch. Davis picked up 7 yards on the play. Let's see. JJ says, shot clock got me cracking up. And so, yeah, we're not going to mention that, JJ. We're just not going to mention that. Snaps it. Steps up. Running. Gets the first down. Case does it himself here. Picks up another first down on the ground. Obviously, heavily have to rely on Case to get it done. But if this is going to be the style that they're going to have to continue throughout the rest of the season, then I surely hope he can remain healthy. He's got 8 rushes, 62 yards here. 1st and 10, shotgun. Feeds it to the back up the middle, and the back is going to pick up about a good 4 or 5 yards in that carry. All right, we got 12 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 6 coming up. And again, Memphis, they find themselves up right now 16-8. And their concern right now is they got to find a way to go down there and score. They just watched San Antonio put together their best offensive drive of the game last drive out there. So they've got to come out here and try to respond here. This is very critical. Shotgun again. This time they've got Victor in there running back. Receiver goes in motion. Feeds it to Victor. Victor fighting forward. Victor picks up 2 yards on the carry. 3rd down coming up. So again, fourth quarter, 11 minutes, 22 seconds to go. So 3rd and 4. Let's see, JJ says, JB, the last time I saw you, you had 78 subscribers, and now you've got 162 putting in that work. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear it. 162, and shoot, by the time we actually get to the NFL season, it could be in the 300s. But I'm happy to hear growth. Because that's what you want early on, growth, and then to figure out, have some consistency in terms of, like at least like a handful of people consistently show up, because that does help, especially when it comes to live streams and stuff like that. It does help, because I remember early on back in the day when JB Nation was just taking off, and man, like I remember I tried to stream an NBA finals, and I ended up like cutting it midstream because like there was nobody on and we were at halftime and stuff like that. And so you guys know, football's my passion, but when it comes to the NBA and stuff like that, I like it, but it's not like that top tier passion for me. So yeah, it wasn't until I actually started getting consistent people to come through that it really helped me elevate my game and stuff like that, because I knew I could always count on them to be there for, most of the streams. JJ says thank you. Of course. Of course. And what are you planning on doing for the NFL draft, JJ? You plan on, I guess, doing anything special for the NFL draft? I feel like the draft is always a big time in terms of just, getting out there and having new people just be exposed to your channel and stuff like that, the NFL draft. Same advice I gave Braden last year and stuff like that, especially when you cover some of the guys who go undrafted, late round picks, because everybody's going to be talking about the, first round picks before the draft, during the draft, but after the draft, they're going to want to know who's that guy that their team just signed, out of Memphis, that's a running back, in the seventh, eighth round or something like that, or who's that safety out of UAB that they never heard of, so they're going to want to know that. All right, so that's a big time completion there. Well, but we've got the medical staff out there. And again, we're going to be looking at a first and goal situation when we come back. Let's see. JJ says, I take like 3 or a week on break. And so, okay, okay, okay. And also, when I first got started early on, I would also, like, I used to connect my live stream to Facebook, YouTube, and also to Twitch at the same time. I used to broadcast to all three at the same time, but I realized just because of the whole lingo that you use throughout Twitch and stuff like that, that it was just probably better. Like I would probably do that if I was doing gaming and stuff like that in terms of on Twitch and stuff like that. But there's a lot that JB needs to learn in order to really utilize the Twitch audience at a high level. All right, JJ says hopefully go live in the draft. And so, okay, are you looking to cover like all 3 days? First day, what are you looking to cover? Like all 3 days? Philip says, hey, I was just texting Jay's dad. You said Jay is playing with a heavy heart today. You said Jonathan Sr.'s uncle was murdered, and so Jay's dad is having to miss this game to go to his uncle's funeral. Oh, man, I hate to hear that. Oh, man, hate to hear that. That is, oh, man, I hate to hear that. Especially to be murdered and stuff. Oh, man, that is, oh, man. Yeah, I absolutely hate to hear that and certainly understand that. So definitely prayers there for, him and his family. That's really that's brutal. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's see, JJ says you're trying to be a Twitch streamer. And so only reason JB doesn't work on Twitch is because again, JB is working on, trying to create his own trading card game, and JV is spending all this time working on the card database because when the game is introduced, I want to already have a couple cards and stuff. Well, honestly, I've already got 5,000 cards in development, so that's why it's taking me so long. But I've been investing my time in that trading card game, so that's insane. Let's see. Philip says he told me to keep him updated on what's happening. And so, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, right now, again, fourth quarter here, Memphis up 16-8. And again, when we come back from that injury timeout there, I'm sorry, TV timeout here, we'll see if they'll be able to capitalize here in the fourth with 10 minutes and 32 seconds to go. A touchdown would be so huge right now, so huge. But yeah, Philip, you got me thinking there. I'm definitely, saddened further. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so here we go. Shotgun formation. Three receivers, one tight end, one back. They're sending pressure here. Off the wrong foot, throws that one. Incomplete. Victor, the closest receiver there on the play. Coming away with a touchdown would be so huge right now, but you got to make sure you do come away with some points here. And let's see, JJ says, JB pin RMP on Jay's dad. You said, let's see. Philip says, Jay's great uncle who has passed. And so, yeah, RMP is uncle there. That is brutal. That is brutal. I've been hearing like a lot of tragic stuff lately. This is just horrible. I got a friend who lost her mother due to cancer and stuff like that. A couple, like I think 2 weeks ago, and stuff like that. So this has been absolutely devastating. All right, so they run the ball, and that's a great run right there. This is what you want and need from Victor to be able to, in these situations, just pound it in there. That was a great run. That was such a great run. I would probably run it again with him right there. I like that. You gave him a fullback. We talked about that, I believe, last week. Give him a fullback and stuff like that. You put the big boys in front and you challenge them to go out there and win that battle. And so, third and goal, I'd want to see it again, honestly. Got a fullback again. Running back. Oh, he lost the ball. He lost the ball. Oh, my goodness. He lost the ball, and that's going to be a botched opportunity right there. Luckily, he fell in that football field. If that ball was going the other way, that would have been an entirely different story. But, wow. How do you lose the ball like that? Show me the replay one more time from a different angle, please. This is, wow. Wow, this is not for the faint of heart for sure. So now you lose 3 yards there on that fumble. You lose the opportunity to try to get a touchdown, in which I truly believe Victor probably would have gotten it. And now you got to call out the old special teams unit. Let's see. Philip says, bro, our hometown has really changed a lot and become violent. You say our whole community is rough. We're from the northeast Arkansas, an hour north of Memphis and east of Jonesboro. So, oh man, you hate to hear that, especially if you've been at a community that you were born and raised in, and you know that the community has had high character, high standards in terms of just the people there. Because I've seen it. I've seen it. You start off, everybody's good. Everybody cares about each other, or they, at the very least, leave everybody alone and stuff like that. But then you start to have, a couple people move in and stuff, and then they want to, take over the area and stuff like that. Then it starts to get rough and all like that. I think of places in South Carolina that's generally the case and stuff like that. Like what it was, about a good 10, 15, a good 15 years ago and stuff like that. What it is now, big difference. So I feel for the community, Philip. I feel for the community. Let's see. JJ says JB is the full UFL, so that I'm sorry. This is the full UFL, so that will happen. And so, hey, they came away with 3 points there, 19-8. I'd like to see the UFL expand, though, and bring back some of those other teams, even if it is a year or two down the road. Let's see, Philip says, when Jay's dad and I went to school together in the late 90s, we were all so close, like a small town. Now it's crazy. And so, yeah, just, it's, oh man, because like, you really hate that because you've been there, you know what it was and stuff like that. It takes a community to make a community. But then, you have people leave, and the people that replace them, that usually ends up being a problem. Or either maybe like their kids take over and then they start bringing people over, and then all of a sudden it just starts to slowly change. And then once it's changed, it is so hard to go back. Like I don't think it goes back. All right, kickoff on the way. Gets it from the 13. Still running, brought down at the 40-yard line. Yes, JJ says, I'm sorry, Philip. All right, so here we go. 8 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. So San Antonio, can they replicate what they did last drive out there? Because if they can, things will get very interesting. They're going to go 5 wide from their own 40. Gets the snap out of the shotgun. In the pocket. Garbers throws it. Gets the completion. Oh my goodness, what a catch. What a throw. Takes it to the 42. It's like they were waiting to the fourth quarter. It's like Vegas called in and said, hey, wait to the fourth quarter before you start moving that ball. But man, it has been, look at that. Look at the pocket he had to throw that ball. Now, the safety did come in and stick him, but it was well worth it. Gets the snap again, 5 wide. Chase tried to go between the center and guard. Picked up about 2 yards there on the keeper. I wonder if that was by design. Yeah, that was a nice tackle there. All right, 2nd and 8. 7 minutes and 28 seconds left to go in this one against San Antonio. They have all 3 timeouts. Memphis, they have 2 timeouts in this one. 5 wide again. Sending pressure. Garbers throws this one away. No other choice. No other choice. 3rd and 8. Memphis said, we are not just going to stand by and let you continue to pick us apart. We're going to bring the heat. And they brought the whole kitchen stove on that play. 22 votes right now. Let's keep the votes coming in. With about 7 minutes left to go, we can get at least upwards of 25. We can get upwards of 25 votes. Maybe even get closer to 30. But we got 3rd and 8. Oh, one of the sneaky moves that happened this offseason was Carson Wentz ended up signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a sneaky move that I'm pretty sure most people didn't even notice. Oh, what a pass. What a completion. What a first down. They are feeling it now. They are feeling it now. It may have taken a while, but they are here. Let's see. Philip says, could step in and make a difference. They just have to stay committed to him and to this area for a change. And so, yes, I agree. All right, 1st and 10. Defense brings pressure, but he throws it quickly. Gets it to his receiver. Oh, nice work just working the sideline and getting the extra yards out of that one to make it 2nd and short. All right, now they've got to keep it going. They've got to keep it going. 2nd and 2. Again, 5 minutes and 48 seconds to go here in the 4th. 3 or 4 on this drive for 36 yards. Let's see if that continues. Looking. Throws it short. Incomplete. Got to make the easy ones. It's going to make it 3rd and 2. 5 minutes and 35 seconds left to go here in the 4th. JJ says, got to hurry, not much time left. Yes, they got to get to this end zone. I know a field goal, you could technically get a field goal here, but the way that they're moving, they better get a touchdown here. Gets it, feeds it to the back, and the back. Not only did you run the ball, but you didn't get the first. That was not going to happen. This is Memphis. Have you forgotten Memphis defense? I would have probably did some type of bootleg and have, Garber just scramble for that first down. I still would do that here on 4th and 1. You might as well go for it. Roll the dice. Phillips says, come on, defense. Come on, defense. All right, 4th and 1. This is an opportunity here for both teams. All receivers are towards the bottom of the screen here, and it looks like there's going to have to be a timeout call here, looks like. All right, so Memphis is the team to call the timeout. Want to talk about this one? Okay, 4th and 1. This is huge. If you're Memphis right now and you get a stop defensively, that is big time here. You're talking about getting the football back. They've done a tremendous job at running the clock and stuff like that. So if they can get the football back, that is huge. So right now, if you're San Antonio, this is ball game right here. Ball game right here. You don't get this. This is ball game pretty much. Barring some type of a miracle turnover. All right, 4th and 1. Looking. On the move. Got to do something. Throws it. Oh, he threw a pick. He threw a pick. Oh, my goodness. He threw a pick. How about that for Memphis? Big-time players make big-time plays. How about that? Wow. JJ said, do not spend your timeouts. Use the sideline. Phillips says, come on, defense. 0 blitz. Send the house. Phillips says, prevent the call. Prevent call. Oh, man. Garbers. What have you done? I see what you tried to do there. You tried to do that. The problem is the routes were too close. You had 2 guys. It was too close. You had Lattimore there, and you assume that the DB is going to stay with Lattimore, but nope. He jumps that one. He assumes you're going to throw it. He baited you into making that throw. So maybe a quick pump fake in that direction and then throw it to Lattimore, you probably would have had it. But that time, the DB did an excellent job at jumping that route. He understood the situation, and he read it perfectly like a book. JJ says game. Phillips says yes, sir. Absolutely. How about that? How about that? In Memphis, they are eyeing that 2-0, an excellent start here. Now, there's still 4 minutes and 25 seconds, so you still got to go through there. And they just got called for 12 men on the field. How does that happen? How does that happen? 12 men on the field, you just get on the field. How does that happen? You got to get some first downs here. Get some first downs, run that clock. Meanwhile, if you're San Antonio, you got to make a play. All right, shotgun. Feeds it to the back and the back. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is the result of what happens when you've had the ball for over 35 minutes offensively, and that defense has been on the field, and you just continue to just work and work. And now that allows a running back like Victor to go out there and have his best run of the game. This is what he's here for. This is what he's here for. Now we're looking at 2nd and 2, and they're going to take off every second possible before they snap this ball. JJ says scrambled. He could have. He should have put it all on the line, but he didn't. Shotgun here. Snaps it. Feeds it to the back again. Victor takes on the contact. Victor picked up the first down. Victor making it do what it do. Picked up about 7 yards on the play. Oh, what's this? San Antonio players are, look at this. Wow. Discipline is something that a coach installs in his team, and it shows up in moments like this who lacks discipline. You look at the fact that Brahmas in this game, 12 penalties for 122 yards. That's right, 12 penalties for 122 yards. They only passed for 130 yards. So they almost matched their passing yards with penalty yards in this game. And then you add the senseless stuff like this. Come on. Come on. That's why the score is what it is right now. You've got to hold your composure. You're on the road. It's going to get to you. I get it. It's going to get to you. Phillips says, one more first down, and that's game. And so this is tough. This is tough. This is where you have to get the troops back in this one. Like after this game here, if you're San Antonio coach, you got to really have a talk with them, and you've got to get a pulse on this. All right, they run the ball. Yeah, Victor's going to lose about 2 yards on that carry. So San Antonio not playing about that one. Second and 11. Phillips said play action over the top to Jay for the touchdown. I co-sign. Let's do it for his uncle. All right, so here we go. Again, under 3 minutes to go here. Memphis, 1 timeout. San Antonio, 2 timeouts. Score Memphis 19, San Antonio 8. Second and 11. Looks like Case is going to line up under center here. Multiple tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Snaps it, feeds it to the back, and the back off the right side going nowhere. Another penalty. Another penalty. What in the world is going on? Another penalty. All right, we've got 25 votes. Okay. Memphis barely ahead in the poll here at 52%. Okay. So some late faith here for San Antonio. Gotta love it. But what you don't love is the lack of discipline we're seeing out there. That's what you don't love. All right, let's see who pushed who here. Oh, not just a push here. We tried to throw a punch here and everything. Oh my goodness. Why not? Why not? 12's not enough penalties. Why not? At this point, we're not even trying to think at this point. Right. So offset in there, okay. And then, yeah, that was a lot. I mean, I get it. You want to get your hand off someone, but you got to know if you do that, then there's going to be consequences for it. Let's see. JJ says bro's letting out his Mamba mentality. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it, JJ. There are better ways. But I get it. First loss of the season here. That's tough. I was about to say, is security not escorting him? Is he all by himself? 3rd and 12. Feeds it to the back. Okay, Victor's going to take it to about the 49-yard line. 4th down coming up. Of course, San Antonio called the timeout. That'll reserve some time there. See what they can do. Trailing 19-8. They will get the football again here. Let's see. Philip says, well, I mean, the league is owned by The Rock and his ex-wife, LOL. And tonight is the first night of WrestleMania 40. And so, yes, it makes sense, doesn't it? When you put it like that, it makes sense. Good old Wade Phillips. Punts on the way. Makes the first guy miss. Brought down to about the 16-yard line. All right, so we got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in the action here today. Mike says thumbs up. JJ says, JB, it's good having you back. It's great being back, honestly. It was trying times there, but JB is back. They say tough times bring tough people. So, yeah, I envision that by the time the NFL season starts back, then things would be a lot closer to what they were for me in terms of just being normal. But each and every week, JB's going in there, working hard, making it do what it do. Happy about my new job. I have an excellent, team and stuff like that I work with, so I'm happy about that. Passes it. Oh, what a completion. What a completion. He says he wasn't touched. He says he wasn't touched. I was about to say, was that the hip drop tackle there? Let's see. Philip says, lack of discipline kills all momentum of the game. It really does. It really does. Especially when you have 13 penalties for 137 yards and you as a team barely have 200 total yards. That is going to destroy many teams. But for them to still be where they're at right now, wait a minute. There's a challenge flag. I can see that. I thought he might have been touched at first, but let's see. Let's see. JJ says good. All right, so they are under the hood here, or I should say in front of the laptop screen, I should say, but they are checking to see if he was indeed touched while he was down. Obviously, huge implications either way. Let's see, Philip says, come on, the Hogs are about to throw the first pitch. Yeah, we're all looking at the clock like, okay. JJ says their coach is going to make them do 40 push-ups and 50 jumping jacks and 60 laps and 20 burpees and 70 sit-ups. Is he trying to make them quit, JJ? Because I think that's a more reasonable response to all of that. That's insane. All right, and again, I cannot physically, like, I cannot literally hear what the referee is saying because I never want their audio to get caught here and then YouTube has a problem with it. So I have to look and see. Let's see. Okay. But still a big play. Still a big play. The call was overturned. Still a big play. But it does take us to that 2 minute warning. So yeah, it does have 2 minute warning here in this league. So yeah, 2 minute warning with Memphis up 19-8. San Antonio having their best quarter offensively. But is it too little too late? Or are we going to be in for something spectacular? We're going to find that out. I mean, you think back to when Wade Phillips was coaching the Dallas Cowboys. His Cowboys, they wasn't known for discipline. Like, I'm not going to say that they were not disciplined because I feel like they obviously they were disciplined, but that's because of their leaders. You know, like it wasn't because it was coming from their coach and stuff like that. They had guys like Jason Witten, Tony Romo. They had guys on the defensive side as well that were veterans. That so therefore it wasn't a problem with them, but it wasn't. I guess he was kind of a lot of the players' coach, and sometimes that can push the coaches to where they're not as disciplined if the coach is more of a laid back style. Let's see. JJ says, "Come on and end their misery." JJ says Dak. Back when Dak first got there, wasn't Jason Garrett already coaching at that time? I feel like Wade Phillips was already gone before Dak. All right, again, we are here. Skip the commercial. JJ says, "You mean the Cowgirls?" Oh boy, the hatred towards the Dallas Cowboys. I guess for me, it's always just entertaining when it comes to just watching like the Cowboy fans get so excited about their team. They're thinking that it's going to be it. It's going to be different. And then watching them fail over and over and over again. Meanwhile, pass completed for 10 yards and a first down near the sideline. Nice throw and catch there. Smith was the recipient on that reception. A minute 56 left to go. San Antonio, they got nothing. They got no timeouts remaining. In which my scoreboard is wrong in terms of the timeouts it shows. I like this scoreboard though. I do like the scoreboard. First and 10, throws it, incomplete. 'Cause I know sometimes when I'm just like talking, at least it shows like the down, the yardage, and it shows everything and stuff like that. For anybody that's watching and like, why is he talking about something that's not related to the game? Let's see. Philip says, I mean, Dak crumbled in the big moments in college too. Why do Cowboys fans think it will change in the pros? Well, let's see. JJ says, me and my whole family and friends hate them. You say Jerry Jones is a bad owner. Jerry Jones is a businessman that happens to own a football team, but he's purely just a businessman. That's all it is there, just the businessman. That was an incompletion there. 1:48 left to go. Let's see. RC says, JB, you still here, man? And so I am in the flesh. He said, JB, I've done been and went and got gas and went to 2 stores and still here. And so yes, absolutely. You know, we stay until the end of the game, regardless of the circumstances. Even though I do remember a couple of years ago that Broncos and Colts game was so hard to sit through, so hard. May they never put another game like that on for us. All right, so you got the completion there. He's a yard shy of the first down marker. So basically, if Memphis gets the stop here, that's game. So 4th and 1. Let's see, can San Antonio pull one out the hat? They get the snap. They're looking. He's going to throw one. Oh, what a completion. What a completion. And there's a flag. I know if you're San Antonio, that makes you nervous a little bit anytime you see a flag. But let's see what they call. Let's see. Philip says, JJ, unless you're anyone but a Cowboys fan, he's a great owner. I see what you did there. Let's see. JJ says, have Justin Jefferson be the owner. And so I tell you what, JJ wants his money. He wants his money. I'll tell you what, though, an owner that is messing up his team and the opportunity he's got, I'll say Mark Davis with the Raiders. Like, I feel like every time he has a good team, he goes out there and does something stupid. Like when he brought in John Gruden when the team is already succeeding, he waits till they're good and then brings in a coach who messes it up and then has to fall back and let a good coach actually come in and, you know, do it. But he wants to have a big name coach, I should say. 1st and goal, throws it. He's going to be short. He's going to make it 2nd and goal. He's going to lose some yards, about 3 yards there. Kirkland on the reception. Got 1:05 left to go here in the 4th. Again, Memphis up 19-8. 2nd and goal coming up. All right. Snaps it, throws it, gets the completion, but there is a penalty. So let's see what this penalty is going to be. But man, what a play. Wow. He was all over his shoulder, all over his shoulder. And let's see, RC says, JB, we either win at the buzzer tomorrow or we lose 90-65. And you say, JJ Production, salute, salute. You say, JB, even if we lose tomorrow and it'll hurt, I was totally satisfied and proud of my season. My black and gold Hawkeyes put together. Bet there's a lot to be proud of. A lot to be proud of. Absolutely. All right, so our touchdown. Our touchdown is good. Our touchdown stands. So that's major. That's major. We were ready to go ahead and let the fat lady start singing, but we may have to hold off a minute. Now, can they get this 2-point play? That would be huge. Now, remember, San Antonio, 0 timeouts. That is critical. No timeouts. Let's see. JJ says, RC Caitlin Clock is carrying us to win. Let's go Hawkeyes. Yeah, JB does want to see Iowa win. I do want to see Iowa win. Let the haters have another week to hate, another couple of days to hate. Let them hate. All right, so they're going to go for the 3-point attempt here. Okay. Let's see. RC says, JJ, you know better than that. LOL. You say I'm a sticker for details. Let's see. RC says, JJ, it's Caitlin. Let's see. I go all over YouTube correcting people spelling of Caitlin's name. And so we've got the Caitlin Patrol out here. I'm glad JB doesn't have to spell it. And just a reminder, if you're wondering when is JB's next stream, JB will be back tomorrow to stream the Roughnecks versus Defenders. That'll be the second matchup of the day tomorrow. So yes, I will not be streaming my Birmingham Stallions. It's just too early on a Sunday, but I will be there for the 4 p.m. Eastern game for the Roughnecks versus Defenders. All right, these referees have had their work cut out for them. They've gotten a lot of cardio burnt out there today. And let's see, RC says, JB, I just made a YouTube short on LeBron James tweet on the Iowa-UConn game. And so, oh man. And let's see, JJ says, sorry. And let's see, JJ says, remember, she is the female Stephen Curry, so she got that dog in her. I remember Steph Curry at Davidson. I do remember that. I was rooting for Davidson. It was a great story. Let's see. RC says, JB, your next stream is golf. That is not correct. Oh, three-point play doesn't work. And so, all right, 48 seconds left. All Memphis needs is to get their hands on the football. That's all they need now. RC says, JJ, I'm just joking around with you, LOL. I wonder how does 80s feel about Saquon Barkley joining his Eagles. I wonder how does 80s feel about that in his heart of hearts. All right, so here goes the 4th and 12 play, which is equivalent to an onside kick. If they get the first down, they get to keep the ball, and things get very interesting. So, needless to say, if you root for Memphis, you want to get this incompletion because that's game. This is basically game if they don't get it. Now, this is their best quarter. So if they can find a way to get a first down here, look out. All right, let us see. 4th and 12. San Antonio. Looking to defy the odds here. Can they do it? Gets the snap. In the pocket. Throws it over the middle. Ooh, he got the completion. Now let's see where they mark his forward progress when he first caught the ball. That's what matters here, not where he fell down, where he first caught that ball. They're saying it's a first down. They're saying it's a first down. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Philip says it kills him to see Aaron Jones in Minnesota. It's going to be so odd to see that, Philip. That's one of the oddest signings, I'm not going to lie. Hard to see. 1st and 10, throws it, gets another completion. What is going on? What is going on? This is like you're playing against somebody online and they give the controller to their big brother who actually knows how to use the sticks. And now you're like, what's going on? This is not the same person. They spiked the ball at the 45-yard line of Memphis. Memphis is up by 5 points, so it would take a touchdown to overthrow them. They've got 24 seconds, but no timeouts to work with. Now we're looking at 2nd and 10. Wow. I didn't think this game had that kind of potential in it. But now's a great time. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and let us know who you got. Go ahead and cast that vote who you got winning this one. But man, to think this one's going to come down here after what we saw the first 3 quarters and what we're seeing in this quarter alone, this is what you love about this league. You're never out of it. 2nd and 10, throws it. Another easy completion. And look at him rumbling. all the way to about the 20-yard line where they say he went out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. Not Stevenson. Stevenson says, let's go. 16 seconds left to work with here. And a fresh new set of downs. That's big time because not only did he make the catch, he found a way to get out of bounds and reserve the time. Wow, I'm speechless. JJ says, hopefully Braden doesn't know. RC says, JB, would you rather have free gas for the rest of the year, your phone bill paid the rest of the year, or free groceries? Free groceries. How much JB likes to eat free groceries? Give me that. Give me that. I would order so much groceries, Braden, it would not be funny. It would not be funny. Because then I'll get groceries and I'll start selling those groceries and stuff like that as well to make even more money at that point. So, all right, but man, we're looking at 2nd and 10 right now. 13 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter. Memphis has led this entire game the entire way. They're up right now 19-14. But right now, San Antonio, they found life. Throws it, complete it, goes out of bounds, 9 seconds. We're looking at 3rd and 1 right now. Oh my goodness. Are we really witnessing this right now? Wow. Let's see, JD says Phillip is on his last breath. Let's see, Phillip says defense, the game ain't over. They're really acting like this is just garbage time. No, this is not garbage time. I've seen garbage now with 277 yards passing now. 3rd and 1. What happens here? They're sending in a blitz. He's looking. He throws it into the end zone. Into the end zone. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How did this happen? Memphis. Memphis. I am stunned. I will admit, I said this game was over about 4 minutes ago. I will admit that. I am shocked, stunned, in disbelief. I've been proven wrong. Wow. What a play. I can't believe that Memphis played so soft defensively. They let this happen. JJ said that's some Tom Brady stuff. That Tom magic. Wow. So now it makes sense to go for the 2-point play, I feel. 3 seconds remaining. How do you let that happen? JJ says they sold me too, JB. And so yeah, I know what they did last week, but I know what I saw the first 3 quarters and stuff like that. And I did not see whatever adjustment they made in that 4th quarter, going 5 wide, to start things off and just getting some completions. They got going. And despite the fact that they have had all these penalties, and even at this moment, they have another penalty. I have not seen really anything like it. Because I'm looking at the numbers. I'm racking my brain here. Like, how did this happen? They have 14 penalties for 142 yards. They had a defensive player ejected and stuff like that. At halftime, they had a combined, I think, 15 yards and stuff like that. But you look at them now. Look at them now. Chase Garbers, 29 of 40 for 287 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just wow. Just wow. 1 interception. They opt to go out there and just take the knee there. So they're like, okay, we're just going to go ahead. We'll get ready for the kickoff, and that'll be it there. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. There is not enough time anyways for them, I guess, to really get 3 points. Let's see. JJ says, unless they do a kick return. JJ, if they got a kick return here, that would just be atop the chart there. Perfect way to end it there if they got that kick return there. But wow. JJ says they're being cocky. And so Phillip says, is this real life? I mean, come on. I can't believe it myself. I thought it was done. I really thought it would have been done. This is why I had such a big problem last week when Memphis went out there and they just started running the ball, stopped doing what was working for them. They just went ahead and said it's over. I hope this is a valuable lesson for them to not take your foot off the gas pedal when it is not done. I'm heated for them. I have no horse in the race, but I'm heated for them. Because how do you let that happen? Let's see, Phillips says cook noodle defense. Now at 3 seconds here, can we get the return of a lifetime here? Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams play again in the future. Kickoff on the way, script kick, gets it, goes down immediately, so he's going to give his offense a chance here. I would have preferred to just flick it to the returner and let him go to work, but okay. All right, so throw one deep to Adams. That's what I say. Throw one deep to Adams and let him go up there and make it do what it do. Better yet, as many times as Brahmas has had penalties against them, it would really hurt them to get called for pass interference and set it up for a field goal when they opted to just go ahead and take the knee as opposed to go for two just in case the scenario works out where you get the field goal attempt. But man, what a crazy, crazy, crazy thing. Let's see, JJ says, JB, underdogs are always undefeated. Philip says, come on, Jay. All right, here we go. 1st and 10, gets the snap. This could be game. He lost the ball. He lost the ball. What is he doing? Case, Case, it's not a basketball. What are you doing? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. He's so hard on that play. I at least want to see a Hail Mary throw. What is he doing, bro? Like, that was insane. That was insane. That is not how you end the game. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I am flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted. I will say this, though. San Antonio, they pulled the Houdini move. They set me up. They lulled me to sleep and stuff like that by thinking throughout the first 3 quarters that they were just not going to show up today. But they showed up in the 4th quarter in spite of the fact that they had 14 penalties for 142 yards in terms against them and stuff like that. In spite of the fact that they only had 36 yards rushing while their opponent, the Showboats, had 112 yards rushing. Despite the fact that they lost the time of possession battle by almost 13 minutes and stuff like that. In spite of all of that, it didn't matter. It didn't matter because at the end of the day, they made the plays when it mattered the most. And in the 4th quarter, Garbers and company did what they needed to do to make it happen. Wow. RC said, no overtime possibilities. Boo. JJ says, wrong sport. Phillips said, well, Memphis was the underdog in the game by 2.5. Still, though, to lose in that fashion, Phillip, that was heartbreaking there. Heartbreaking. So I said earlier that this was an opportunity for San Antonio to get together, and they still are going to have to talk about those penalties because you play a team like, Birmingham. If you have 14 penalties for 142 yards, you'll lose a game like that. But great job responding and coming together in the 4th quarter, and they'll be better for it. But Memphis, a loss like this is an eye-opener, and it says, hey, what we're doing in the 4th quarter, it is not working. We got to get away from that. We got to get away from that. JJ says Tom Brady stuff. Phillips says they have to find a quarterback in the no-line and the defense that plays the whole game. The whole game. Oh, man, guys, this was a game. It turned into a game. At first, it was a bit of a snooze fest, but it turned into a game. Let us not forget, Memphis was up 16-0 at the end of the 3rd quarter. And for them to lose 20-19, wow. San Antonio made the plays that mattered and stuff like that. If I had to point to one play where Memphis defensively really messed up and stuff like that, it was obviously that 4th and 12 play. You let the receiver get that far there, and then he converted. So many mistakes, many mistakes. As a coach, you have to use this as a coachable moment, even though it hurts. It hurts that you lost this one, but hopefully the team will be better for it. They have to be. They have to be. Let's see. RC says, JB, salute, salute. Appreciate that. JJ says, ask me. So we'll go ahead and ask you, JJ. Philip says, I'm out. Thanks, JB. Yeah, appreciate that, Phillips. You take care, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. JJ says, JB, see you in your next stream. Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the next stream. We'll go ahead and end the poll, which ended in a tie. So how about that? Even our poll was just in a frenzy right now. So absolutely. But thank you guys so much for coming through and joining JB here and being a part of JB Nation. It's been great. It's been real. Again, JB's next stream will be tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow's matchup will be good as well, in which we'll get to watch the Roughnecks versus the Defenders tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hyped up. You guys take care and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. JB's got some things he needs to take care of on my end here. But yes, see you guys next time. Take care. Let's see. Dave says, thanks, JB. Great stream. Dave, Glad to see you here in the chat, man. How are you doing? Thank you for coming through, my guy. Yes. Dave, I hope all is well and thank you. Hey, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Fourth quarter gave us everything that we could ask for. Everything we could ask for. JJ says game over. Just like that. Yes. But again, that'll be a good one for us to see tomorrow. But still, plenty of games to take place. If you guys know I'm a Birmingham fan, so tomorrow I'll be watching some of that Birmingham game as well. And then I'll come in ready to see what we're going to experience tomorrow. But thanks again for coming.